Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining my co host Mary and I for another Spiritual Learning Thursday. Every Thursday, we go over a different topic. After we play the video on the topic, we'll take any questions that anyone has and we'll try to answer them the best that we can. If you have any ideas on what you would like to learn about in the next upcoming videos, please leave a comment. We will be with you shortly. If you would be so kind as to take this time to give a like and share out the video, it would be greatly appreciated. Sit back, enjoy the show. Thank you so much again for coming. Hi everyone, how are you? I'm sorry I'm a mess. But here we are, all lovely. I hope everybody's well. Hello, Kelly. I see there's people here. I haven't seen anybody type, so I hope the comments are working. I was up way too early for myself today. I could have used another 2 hours sleep. Anywho. It's lovely all of you came in. Can you hear me? Is this working? I don't know. Here's Mary. Mary. Here's Mary. Hi, Mary. Can you hear me, love? I can kind of hear you, but
Can you hear me now?
yes. Here we go.
I had to go in and fix it again.
Mm-hmm. So I hope everybody's well. Today we are going to go over the oldest religion on record. It's 4,000-year-old religion. There's only about, I think they said 125,000 people.
Are we live yet?
Yes.
All right. Well, let me go. Let me go share you out.
Yes, that'd be
Where's
lovely.
everybody at?
I don't know. There is 4 people here. I just don't know. They're not talking. I know Kelly said hello. So Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
And
All
there's
right.
me
Let me go
there.
share out. In case I boot myself, I'll come back in.
Oh,
Storms haven't hit yet, so
well,
we'll
that's good.
see.
I'm having a hell of a time with my plants. The floor include no.
The what?
Well, it does include me on my other phone, but there should still be 2 more of you somewhere. It's the lurkers. Hello to the lurkers. I know my Betty probably. So hello, Betty Loco. Thank you for lurking with us. So yeah. She's usually the one lurking.
Hang on, I gotta mute this. There we go.
She's a busy lady with the elections coming up, but She's such a great supporter. Shout out to the members. We have 11 members now. Thor became a member yesterday. I put a video out. Members only. Well, there's always every other day. Whenever I do something, I stick it in members only, so you guys have the first dibs at it. That's a privilege of you guys being a member, so I make sure I do that. So yeah, so there's a new crafting video up on there, which included our new member, your little icons. Kelly, you got to put some crazy picture there where that K is. I did at one point put a little K heart for you. I'm going to have to come up with some crazy K. Mary Sharon, I don't know. Sure. Something that really suits you. It doesn't have to be you, it could be a background picture that really suits you, and then it'd be cool enough. Yes. I don't know why it's always like so dark. I feel like I'm in the dark. Could be the umbrella, but my friend was over earlier today, guys. And she came over. She said, "I'll be there 10:30, 10:30 in the morning." I said, "Okay. I won't stay later than 12." I think she stayed until like 1:10 or something, which was fine. Wasn't much over 12:30, but it just like I was up early. I went to the food pantry, came home. I don't know, did like two or three things. I had a coffee, and then she came over, and then I was just like, it's too early for company at 10:30. But she has the kiddo, and he's in school, so that's a good time for her. But I could do without 10:30 in the morning. I could do without it. I'd much rather have a 12 in the afternoon kind of thing. Yeah. So I probably definitely didn't have enough coffee. Having some now. I did have a shake with espresso in it, but could have used like two more coffees shoved in there somewhere. A nap and maybe a shower. I don't know, some other things. Let me see if I put this down. Can you guys? I just feel like it's. Oh, yes. There we go. I feel like it's so dark. Yay. All right. So Mary's sharing out. If it's only the three of us, it's only the three of us. What can we do? and our one lurker. It's cool. We'll learn about Zoroastrianism. Hey, Crystal Love. So you're lurking. Lovely. Well, I hope you feel better, honey. We'll be pulling for you that this headache goes away soon. And the nausea too, but the headache's probably worse. When I have a headache, it's just the worst. I had one for 2 days like a month ago, and I thank God it was on my days off from the crossover. It was Friday and Saturday, and I was just like, it was right after Thursday night crossover. Well, it started happening just a little before, while we were on the live. I started to get a little headache. Right after that crossover Thursday, I was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just, I'm just sleeping. I'm looking for a profile pic. Okay. Yeah, something cool. We'll liven it up a bit. We'll liven our little circles up. Kim has a lovely wolf with blue. That's pretty. My picture I don't change. Everybody's like, "Oh, you have not changed." Um, Show me Sasquatch. He does like outdoorsy stuff. Um, he used to follow a friend of mine. I used to be there all the time. Just life gets ahead of us, and she streams on the weekends now, which is a little hard for me. She used to stream every day, so it was easier to make her streams. But I think she only does Friday and Saturday now. But anyway, um, so he drew that for me, my circle icon that I use here. So I love it. I won't change it because he drew it. So big shout out to Show Me Sasquatch. Thank you for drawing my my little pic. I'm still using it. I still using it. I see Mary's doing her job, sharing out. I got a notification. She's working it over there. Diane asked for a card reading yesterday. I hope she's well. When people do things out of the ordinary, I go, oh, I hope they're good. I hope they're okay. Usually she does charms, but she wanted cards. So I'm like, She wanted the best cards we got. So that, you know. But I always tell you guys, I told you guys, whoever was yesterday there at near the end, if, of course, if anybody ever needs anything, you guys can message me on Facebook Messenger. I'll be there. Yes, so Zoroastrianism. I heard the word when I was doing the Tibet, and they said, well, some people have that because they had a few different things in Tibet that they follow. And I was like, I never heard of that. So today I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that one, you know. Um, so it was so interesting. But what's really hard about these, they don't have like some of them have spiritual scriptures. If they're in English, that's nice. Sometimes they're not. Um, but they weren't translated. Um, but some of them are like secretive, so you can't find any like the Bible. You can find verses from the Bible. You can't find any verses for spiritual text on a lot of these things, and I'm like, and they're so like iffy about the practices too, and I'm like, wait, why? I don't know. But I found as much good stuff as I could on it. We're gonna go over it.
I'm gonna
You're
share
back,
it out
Mary.
everywhere I can possibly share out. So
There
we'll
you go.
see.
We'll see.
We'll see how good it does.
Yeah, Krista's lurking, so she's here. She's not feeling too well. Say hello to Krista.
Yeah, I know that feeling. But I didn't want to disappoint you.
What? Oh, thank you.
Mine is just I've been looking for a house, man. It's been crazy. And then somebody's put in for that one.
Aw.
So and now if it falls through, it'll go to me, but I doubt if it falls through because as long as you meet all their criteria thing on there, is you don't get your deposit money on your money you put in for the deposit for the just to do the application.
Right.
And it'd been $120 for me to put in for that, just to see if I'm even eligible.
Right.
So you don't want to apply somewhere unless you know for sure you're going to get it.
Right.
Because you don't get it back.
Well, yeah, of course.
But she'd already told me that. Because I called her and asked her a question. And then she said, well, what's your name? I told her my name, and she looked me up. She said, no, you don't have any bad on your record. I said,
Okay.
I didn't think I did. I said, but thank you for checking.
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, like, they're strict. You can't have any evictions in the last 6 years. It goes way up. They go back 6 years on you.
Ah, yeah.
So, anyway,
You've been there almost 6 years.
I have been here 6 years already.
Yeah.
Working on this is 7 now.
Yeah.
So, there's another one I'm going to apply for, though. I think. I don't know. Depends on what the deposit is for it.
Well, that second one wasn't bad. You showed me two. Hey, Sammy. They liked the first one better, but the second one, there was nothing wrong with.
Hi, Sammy. Well, me too, but I think I could call about the one
Mm.
because it's $50 a piece for that one. And $150 I put out, and if they don't take me, I'm just out $150, which
Yeah.
I don't think's right. I don't think it's right, but it is what it is, and nothing I can do about it.
Right. It's different if you pay like $150 and you could apply to, hey, Diane Love, you could apply to multiple and
Right, right.
then it'd be a different story, but
It's not like that
yeah.
unless it's a company. Now they may do it that way, but one I'm on right now is not doing it like that. You do it per house
Right. They
or
don't
per
have
house
they don't
partner,
have a
whatever.
realtor that can find you something.
I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, then you just have to pay one realtor fee when you get something.
Well, that's what I thought too, but apparently they're not doing that either.
New York, that's how it works. New York, you go to the realtor,
I mean, I
and they
called a
find you
couple of them.
something, you pay a month's rent to the realtor too. So instead of paying a month rent, a month security, you pay 2 months secure rent and 1 month security because 1 month going to the realtor, which is
Well,
fine,
I
whatever.
called a couple of them, and they said they wasn't doing it.
Hmm.
They wasn't doing it like that. So I had to apply
They
for
probably don't do rentals in your area. They probably just do if you're gonna buy it.
there's a crap load of rentals. It's just getting one that qualifies for what I need
Yeah,
it for. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Income wise and all that.
yeah. Well, we got 6 peeps here. Um, we'll wait another, few minutes,
Hi,
then we'll play
Dan.
the video, and we'll see what is going on with Zoroastrianism. I thought it was super interesting. Has anybody in the chat ever heard of Zoroastrianism?
I had not till you said it,
Mm.
and I'm surprised.
Yeah, considering it's so old, do you think you would have heard? Nope.
You think that I would have heard of it, yeah, because I've done some research on some of them, but I didn't realize that I didn't know about it.
Yeah, and it's the oldest one. And so, like I said, I mentioned it as one of the ones that in Tibet they have a few religious things they follow, and that was one of them. And when I said it, I go, I wonder what that is. And I said, well, I'll have to look it up, you know? Is it a secret society? No, Diane, it's a religion. It's 4,000-year old. So they say it's the oldest religion still in existence. But currently, this day, there's only 125,000 worshippers. They're called parises. That's what their worshippers are called, of that faith or religion, you know. Um,
Followers.
Followers, yeah. Followers of that religion.
Yeah.
Um, because, you know, it's old, it's dying out, and how those kinds of religions back in the day, you're born into a family with that religion, right? And then that family baptizes you that religion, you know? Um, and with that religion, you have to be baptized, I think, before the age of 7. So it's not like a religion where you could say, I want to be that religion now, you know, something like that. So just the families are dying out. Basically. So I actually heard, I didn't put it in the video, but I actually had read that they came to the New York Chambers of Congress like on a pilgrimage to try to, I don't know, build awareness for the religion. So they may start, you know, people into the religion, um, so that it doesn't die out. I don't know. But hey, Scott Love, thanks for coming in. So be interesting to see if they're coming to the New York Chamber of Congress, Commerce. Yeah, New York Chamber of Commerce. That's it. You might actually start. People might start hearing about this if they talk about. Um, but we're gonna talk about it, so we're gonna know about it. And yeah. Hi, Evie. Hi, Scott. Hi, lovelies. Evie, I'm sorry. Did you put
Hi,
coffee,
Scott.
Evie?
Hi, Abby.
Because if you put coffee, I better go before, you know. I better go. Now, let's see if, you know, I could turn you guys around. Sorry, don't look up my nostrils. I apologize for my, um, um, try to get this, we'll try to get this going. Hey, don't mess with me. I pressed the button by accident. By accidental. Aha, there we go. Okay, as full screen as you guys as we could get it. What could I tell you? You know, this is that low budget playing. Okay. Oh, it looks bad from there. Oh, look how cute! Yes. All right, Evie, I'm gonna leave you one back, love. Because you know, I'll leave you a margarita because it's that time for us. I know it's early in the morning for you, but it's that time for us. Wondering if I spin it around. Yep, you got it. All right, guys. There you go. I think it's perfect.
Yep. That's good.
Ta-da!
Now put it big screen.
Oh, put a big screen. Yeah, layout.
Okay, now you can play it.
Okay, here we go, guys.
On
Let's
mute.
find out about this. Hello, and welcome to another spiritual learning video. Today we're going over an ancient Persian religion that's about 4,000 years old. Arguably the world's first monotheistic faith, it's one of the oldest religions still in existence. Zoroastrianism was the state religion of three Persian dynasties until the Muslim conquest of Persia in the 7th century AD. Zoroastrian refugees called Parsis escaped Muslim persecution in Iran by immigrating to India. This religion now has an estimated 100 to 200,000 worshippers worldwide and is practiced today as a minority religion in parts of Iran and India. The prophet Zoroaster is regarded as the founder of Zoroastrianism. Most of what is known of the prophet comes from the Avesta, a collection of Zoroastrian religious scriptures. It's unclear exactly when Zoroaster may have lived. Some scholars believe he was a contemporary of Cyrus the Great, a king of the Persian Empire in the 6th century BC, though the archaeological evidence points to an earlier date, sometime between 1500 and 1200 BC. Zoroaster is thought to have been born in what is now northeastern Iran or southwestern Afghanistan. He may have lived in a tribe that followed an ancient religion with many gods. This religion was likely similar to the early forms of Hinduism. According to the Zoroastrian tradition, Zoroaster had a divine vision of a supreme being while partaking in a pagan purification rite at age 30. Zoroaster then began teaching followers to worship a single god called Ahura Mazda. In the 1990s, Russian archaeologists found a fire temple that dates back to the 2nd millennium BC, making this the earliest site associated with Zoroastrianism. The beliefs of Zoroastrianism were spread across Asia via the Silk Road, a network of trading routes that spread from China to the Middle East and into Europe. Some scholars say the tenets of Zoroastrianism helped to shape the major Abrahamic religions, including Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, through the influence of the Persian Empire. Zoroastrian concepts, including the idea of a single God, heaven, hell, and the day of judgment, may have been first introduced to the Jewish community of Babylonia, where people from the kingdom of Judah had been living in captivity for decades. The Faravahar is an ancient symbol of the Zoroastrian faith. It depicts a bearded man with one hand reaching forward. He stands above a pair of wings that are outstretched from a circle representing eternity. Fire is another important symbol. It represents light, warmth, and has purifying powers. Fire, along with water, are also seen as symbols of purity in the Zoroastrian religion. Paris's places of worship are sometimes called fire temples. Each fire temple contains an altar with an internal flame that burns continuously and is never extinguished. According to legend, three ancient Zoroastrian fire temples, known as the Great Fires, were said to have come directly from the Zoroastrian god Ahura Mazda at the beginning of time. Zoroastrians gave their dead sky burial. They built circular, flat-topped towers called drachmas, or towers of silence. Their corpses were exposed to the elements and local vultures until their bones were picked, cleaned, and bleached. Then they were collected and placed in lime pits. These drachmas, or towers of silence, have been illegal in Iran since the 1970s. Many Zoroastrians today bury their dead beneath concrete slabs, although some parishes in India still practice sky burial. There's a drachma, or a tower of silence, that remains in operation near Mumbai, India. British musician Freddie Mercury, a lead singer for the rock band Queen, was one of Paris descent. Mercury, who practiced Zoroastrianism, died in 1991, and his London funeral was performed by a Zoroastrian priest. Zoroastrian god Ahura Mazda served as the namesake for the Japanese automaker Mazda. Among the world's present-day religions, Zoroastrianism, founded more than 4,000 years ago, is one of the most ancient and historically influential. Yet even though its parishes maintain vibrant communities on four continents, they acknowledge their numbers are dauntingly small, perhaps only 125,000 worldwide. At its core, Zoroastrianism emphasizes a never-ending battle between good and evil, a contest between its religion's god, Ahura Mazda, and an evil spirit, Ahriman. Believers have the freedom to make good or bad choices. They were exhorted by Zoroaster to think good thoughts, say good words, and do good deeds. You have these ideals that have fundamentally shaped Western society, fighting the good fight, a purpose of existing to do good, to make the world flourish, to work together, to respect and love each other. That all goes back to Zoroaster. The Nowruz holiday, which incorporates ancient Zoroastrian traditions and marks the Persian New Year, remains a major event on the Iranian calendar. It is widely celebrated on or around March 21st in other religions that once were part of the Persian Empire. For Zoroastrians who left Iran and settled in India or eventually in more distant regions, their communities became renowned for producing entrepreneurs and philanthropists. Becoming wealthy was encouraged within the faith, but with the proviso that riches should be used to help others. Parishes practice a variety of rituals and ceremonies, including prayers. They pray facing a light source such as the sun or fire multiple times a day. Their prayers are primarily celebrating their God and his good essence. Zoroastrians emphasize purification in their rituals, and water is also considered a sacred element. Zoroastrians also believe fire is a central symbol of purity. Parishes tend sacred fires in fire temples and believe that God is physically present in the fire. The Navjot ceremony welcomes new parishes into the faith, and it's traditionally performed when the person's a child or a preteen. They also believe in charitable giving, especially for medicine and education. The festival of Navroz, which is the Persians' New Year, is a festival that marks the arrival of spring and is based on the solar calendar's vernal equinox. Parishes also make pilgrimages to shrines and temples. All young Parises must be initiated when they reach the age of 7 in India or 10 in Persia. There are 3 types of purification in order to increase importance. The chief ceremony, the yasna, essentially a sacrifice of sacred liquor, is celebrated before the sacred fire with a recitation of large parts of the Avesta. There are also offerings of bread, milk, and formerly of meat or animal fat. The sacred fire must be kept burning continually and has to be fed at least 5 times a day. Prayers are also recited 5 times a day. The founding of the new fire involves a very elaborate ceremony. There are also rites for purification and regeneration of a fire. Thank you so much for joining us for another spiritual learning video. If you like this content, please check out our playlist Spiritual Learning for more. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we have new content. We'll see you again next week. Alrighty, sorry guys, let's put back up the camera the other way and put Mary back on. Okay, layout. There we go. Here we are. Oh, you're welcome, guys. I'm glad you enjoy these. They are super interesting, not only for me to do, but they're super interesting for us to learn all these different spiritualities since we're all going through spiritual stuff. And it's nice to learn what everybody else does. And especially these ones that are like the one we did on Hellenism. It's like I was like, no, that's like I can get behind every one of those things. And because they do give offerings and stuff to the deities, I'm like, no, I don't seem crazy. You know? They use fire. My Sagittarius would agree. Yes. Well, my Aries too, because first fire sign in the astrology is the Aries. That would be me. Born on the first sign on the master number. So I'm very feisty. Mary, you're on mute. We're finished. You here? Maybe she snuck out for a snack.
No, I was looking at houses. I said, "Can you hear me?" And then you said I was on mute, and I realized I had to unmute myself. So
Oh yeah. Muted before the video.
yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, I played the video, and I didn't mute you.
Hi, Scott. I know. I'll listen.
Yeah. So yeah, Freddie Mercury was one. I found it interesting that they found a priest in London to do the they probably brought him from somewhere else, but that they found a priest to do his burial.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember reading that.
Right.
I didn't know he was that religion, but I do remember. I may have seen that then. Anyway, I'm not really sure, but anyway, I know that they found somebody to do his funeral.
Yeah.
I did know that.
It'd be super interesting to actually. I wonder if they had a broadcast the ceremony to
I
watch.
bet YouTube. I bet somebody's put it on there.
Yeah,
I haven't looked. Let me see if I can find it. We can't play it if I do find it, but I can drop the link.
Well, you can send me the link and I could play it just like I played the other video if it's on YouTube.
Yeah, you can only play because it'll tag you.
They're in India. Yeah, a lot of them are in India, but they're spread over 12 continents, I heard. H20 Gaming. Welcome in. Thank you for
Hi,
coming.
HDO Gaming.
Lovely to have you. We just played a video on it. The video will go up on the channel a little later. Of course, you always guys watch the live stream back too. I've heard his music before, but interesting way to bury him. Yes. As a known religion, it's old, but Finland and parts of Russia, much older, Norse Shamatic or Druid beliefs. Older than 4,000 years. But you know what, Carl? You know why they say that's the oldest religion? Technically, it's a religion, and Druidism, stuff like that, they consider a philosophy. They don't consider it a religion. I don't know why. I don't know what the. We'll have to go over the difference of all the spirituality, philosophies, and religion. But you have to have a certain criteria. You have to match a certain criteria according to your government in order to be a religion. So they consider those philosophies here in the States anyway. I don't know if they're, if overseas, if they call it a religion, but here they call it a philosophy. So according to everything here, Zoroastrianism is the oldest religion. The oldest philosophy or anything, no. They didn't go over like I said, well, we didn't get to that yet. We're gonna do Celtic hopefully next week, and Thor will join us as a guest. We're gonna have a guest on talking about, because he's Celtic, talking about his religious practices. So I'll do a video and then we'll have him up to talk about it. And then we're probably gonna do, Druidism and shamans, all that. I'm gonna try to get all of them, all the different ones that I could find. But like I said, it's harder here in the States because they call everything a philosophy. So then I have to look at it from a different way. I have to go researching it from other places. It's a pain in the neck, really. Seems like the same terminology, you would think. But the government here anyway is very particular about what they call a religion. Everything else is philosophies, belief, your spirituality, not a religion. They're very picky. So technically, according to them, this is the oldest religion. I don't know, like I said, they have certain criteria. Because I was like, gosh, I should have like a church of spirituality or something. You can have a meeting place and call it a spiritual retreat or something, but you can't call it a church and get like funding like the churches would, because technically we don't have a religion. Technically we all don't have a religion. We're just a bunch of spiritual old kooks here. But anyway, yeah, get together. Yeah, we can have like a spiritual house, they call them. You can have spiritual houses, but like I said, it doesn't that a church would fall into. Like you wouldn't get that church funding, the nonprofit stuff that you would if you had a church with a religion. Although I think Hellenism is a religion in Greece anyway. We might be able to pull that shit out and call it that church. I don't believe in a particular religion. The closest probably H2O gaming is Hinduism, because I believe in deities and stuff. I don't believe that there's only I believe, there's God, but then I believe there's deities, there's elementals, all sorts of stuff. So because I believe differently than the the Christian faith, technically I was baptized Greek Orthodox, so it's like Christian. Greek Orthodox is Christian, but since I don't follow everything that applies to that, I'm kind of don't have one, I guess. I don't have a religion. I only have my spirituality.
Hi, Carl. Sorry, I was overlooking. I found all kinds of stuff about his funeral. I got the
Oh,
whole
look.
9 yards on there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you can watch it all on YouTube. It's all on there.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
They show him carrying his casket. His casket was gold,
Oh,
gold colored. The whole thing of it was gold.
hmm. Only 45, yeah. Oh, yeah, Diane. And like Evie said, he left all that money. Jainism, yes. That's another one I kind of touched on a little when we did maybe we
Yeah, I've
did
heard of that, but
Tibet.
I haven't read about it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. I went over it a little bit with our stuff with Tibet because they have some of that. I gave a little synopsis of like
H2O
Jainism.
Gaming wants to
uh,
know which one you believe in.
I
Which one
told
do you follow?
I told them I don't really follow a religion
I don't either.
duality because I don't believe in every single thing
It's
that.
like I can pick stuff out of every one of them that
Yes, well, that's what it is. It's
would
our
put them
own.
together for me.
It's our own. It's our own beliefs. What we stand behind, right? So Elvis was 42. Yeah.
Yeah, Freddie. If he was living now, his chances of survival or living to be an old person would be a lot more. But since they've come out with new medicine and stuff
Oh, yeah.
for what he had, and I'm sure everybody knows what he had.
Yeah.
Um,
Scott, that's a good way of looking at it.
I don't want to get tagged, so I
Yeah.
watch what I'm saying. But anyway, and that's what got him and his lifestyle.
Yeah.
But it can happen to anybody,
That's right. Well,
truly.
there's plenty of people that had that, especially in the 80s, just through blood transfusions.
Yeah,
Wasn't their life choice. They got sick. Thought
right.
they were gonna fix it, and they made it worse.
I mean, yeah, the blood transfusions that they didn't check them. They didn't check the blood for stuff,
Yeah.
for a lot of stuff that come around, and they should have checked for. And
That's
they
scary.
didn't start checking for hepatitis till like at 82, I think, or 80, no, 92 rather, for hepatitis C.
Yeah.
And they think I got it through because I had it. They think that I got it through surgery. I had stomach surgery in 92, and um, to lose weight, and they had to give me blood because he nicked my spleen, and they believe I got it through blood transfusions.
Yeah.
Well, because they had just started checking the blood, and I live in a smaller area, so it'd be the last one of the last ones to be checking it.
Oh, yeah.
And so with that, because I had to get it in healthcare because there was no other way I'd get it. There's only a 1% chance through sexual contact. So what's that tell you? And I wasn't one of those
Well, you
out.
were married at the time anyway.
Well, well, 92 actually wasn't married,
Oh, you weren't
but
with your son's father?
no, not in 92. I wasn't. No.
Oh,
Um, no, I was 20, 28, 27, 28,
yeah, but
28.
I thought your son was older for
No,
some odd reason. Because my daughter's
no, they are. Well,
25.
they are. I'm 60, so I mean,
Well, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying, well, yeah, I mean, he was born in 94.
Oh, 94.
Yeah, but no, and I wasn't with, no, I wasn't with anybody in 92. Well, yeah, I was. I was seeing somebody, but
I
he
mix
didn't have it.
back old
So,
systems seem to get a gut feeling to things. Well, right, Carl. That's how we do it too. The I know, Kelly, the meds are unbelievable now. Um,
yeah.
although some of them I frown upon. I was
Well,
actually talking to
they cured
my
mine.
friend today because I saw this commercial
It
on
was
Monday
rough, but
Games, you know, Mary, this commercial, right? So it's for a pill to help you regrow your hair for women who are losing hair from age 12 and on. The list includes, and it goes through all the things that can happen to you, side effects. But and then they list a few, heart failure, da 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 da, grow your hair. But then they're like, and death can occur, and they're on with themselves like, oh, are they retarded? Who the hell is gonna risk dying? Like they have wigs for this to take a pill to regrow your hair. Some of these things are ridiculous.
I know. It's crazy.
You
I
know,
know. There's no way. They tried to
if
get
you're
me to
gonna
do
die, if there's something you're going to die of already, and this
right,
may help you not die or die faster, okay, I would probably take the pill. For my hair, no.
right. No,
No, not one bit.
no, I can go get a wig,
Right, right.
I
I'd wear a
mean, there's
wrap
some
or a
nice wigs
turban
out
or
there.
something. I couldn't
There's,
give a crap, like
there's some nice ones you don't even know that you don't even know it's not your hair. I mean, that's how nice they are. I mean,
right. They make them out of real hair now anyway, so it
right.
doesn't matter. Like I would never take a pill that said this could really kill you.
Well, it was very expensive. It took a lot to get my insurance to pay for it, but they did finally. But I still had a copay.
Oh, you're from India?
My copay was pretty high, but they cured me. But it was rough, man. I went through 12 weeks of hell. So,
Yeah. So
but
H2O
so
Gaming
far, I'm
says
still
that
clear.
mm, H2O Gaming says he's from India. Last week uh we did spirituality in India. You would love that one. It's up on the channel. Every Thursday we do a spiritual something or other, something spiritual. We did dreams. We covered all sorts of stuff. Been doing it 8 months, but last week we did India. It was super interesting. I think they said something like there's 22 languages of India. I think India has 22 languages spoken native to there.
I've always wanted to go there, but I am applying, so that's an out. But anyway, till after I pass, and then I'll
Yeah,
go.
Carl,
But
I'm trying to get. Sorry, Mary. I'm just trying to answer Carl's comment. I I I hurt my back 2 years ago, and from my back it radiates up my neck. A lot of times I have neck pain. It radiates in my left hip, like down my leg. I've been trying forever to get the state to give
yeah,
me
she
medical
got static
insurance.
nerve damage. I'd lay money on it. The
So
pain probably.
yeah, I've been trying to get medical insurance from the state so I could get it checked. I can barely, I can't bend for too long. Like if I bend one time, that's it. I'm done for the day. Like if I like really bend to pick something up, I can't walk too long, can't lift
Yeah,
anything.
they're gonna put you. They're gonna put you on lift limit. I can tell you that. Mine was at first when they first checked mine. It was 10 pounds. I couldn't lift over. I couldn't lift over 10 pounds,
Yeah.
and then it went down to 5, and now I'm at none if I can help it.
Yeah.
But lifting a gallon of milk's 5 pounds.
Oh yeah, I
But
know.
it's
No,
hard to lift that
I have
gallon.
my wheelie things. I can't even carry a bread from the supermarket. I need to have a pull thing.
Right.
And even by the time I
Crazy.
get home, the pull thing, I'm already
Yeah.
staying.
Even that pulling it pulls on your body,
Hmm.
and it makes you hurt. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, today I went early in the morning. I went to the food. I bring my thing. It's a few blocks away. Put it in there. That they put the old ladies. So I opened the bag. We put it in there. The old bag and put it in. Right. I feel terrible. And then I'm on my merry way with my little pulley thing. Right. By the time
HGO
I got
Jamie,
home today,
yep.
I was dying. I was like, oh my God, my back is killing me. I was like, what the hell?
I say HDO Gaming. You probably like me. You just let them all just be what they're gonna be. I don't mess in people's in their religions and stuff like that. I'll let people be what they want to be, who they want to be.
Oh,
I don't have a say in any of it. Like even with their preference of male, female, however, whatever, both
mm,
or whatever. I just let it all go. I just let them be what they want to be.
yeah.
I don't care,
22
and I
official
don't
languages.
discriminate in people. For whatever they are, whether they believe in God, don't believe in God, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. 22 official languages, but more languages are spoken. Oh, I can imagine. I can read and write languages like Hindi. Oh, so interesting. English. Yeah, you write English lovely.
Oh wow,
Oh, that's amazing. Oh,
that's cool.
Sanskrit. That's very popular. Um, yeah, I was reading something today and they said that in Queens, my borough, there's 120 different languages spoken. And I can believe that. But I'm
Yeah,
like,
I read that somewhere too
but
the other day.
there's no, it's not because it's an official language of the state. It isn't. English is the official language of the state, right?
Right.
Uh, it's all migration. So 120 different cultures live in my little tiny borough. Queens is not big, you know. um, but yeah, I was like, no wonder I can't find a job because like every time I go to apply for a job, they want you to speak Spanish or Russian, or they don't want English speaking people anymore. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, And then when I read it, I go, well, no, I know that makes sense. They don't want any English people. I've been shown your hip and leg, and someone telling me disc damage in C5 lower just above the. Yeah, I can imagine because I hurt myself. I used to work at Aldi's. I was lifting 4,000 pounds a day, not all at once, but throughout the day. I was lifting 4,000 pounds. Because at Aldi's, you'd have to take the whole case of like, take a jar, 16-ounce jar, glass jar of tomato sauce. 24 come in a case. I have to take that case, pick it up, lift it over my head, and put it on the shelf. Because it was just in cases. You didn't take them out of the case and put it on the shelf. You would pick up the whole case over your head, up on the shelf. I was lifting 4,000 pounds a day doing that.
Yeah, I
24
couldn't do it.
cans of peaches in boxes. This is what I did all day.
I
Big
worked in
case of watermelon, avocado. Cases of
I
avocado are extremely heavy. They must be 6 pounds. Look, if it, the big humongous things of vinegar, 4 of them come in a case. The big humongous. God, they were so heavy. I had to lift them and put them on the shelves. That's what I was doing all day long at Aldi's. And I lifted something the wrong way one day, and after that, holy crow. I worked for 2 weeks after that, maybe almost a month. I had to have like 5 braces on. Like I had so many back to keep my back straight, and I still couldn't lift. I'll never forget one day I went to lift and I was in so much pain. I was like, oh my God. And my boss saw me and he's like, go to the fucking doctor. And I'm like, I don't have medical insurance. Like, they don't see you if you don't have medical insurance unless you're in an accident. So I feel like telling the neighbor, hey, back up and hit me with your car. Really lightly so I can go to the hospital. And no fault will pay for it. Never know. I could walk and bring back the neighbor's car, but that'd be rude. It'd be rude. And then if she can see me, she'd run me right over. Lifting weights straight
Right, Kelly,
up.
to each their own, yeah.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Lifting weights straightened up is a great way to slip a disconnect. Oh no, that was the beginning of my 6th spine surgery.
Oh, God.
I felt like an electric bolt hitting your spine. Oh, well, talking about electrical bolts, I was attacked by a fallen angel who, for 2 hours, sent lightning bolts into my spine. But I was okay for like a year or 2 after that. So I hope that didn't contribute to it. I'd find that dude and I'd freaking anyway. And how do you explain that to the doctor? I better stick with my Aldi story.
Yeah, right. Right.
uh Nerve pain, yes. Oh no, because how do you explain that? By the way, yeah, the Aldi story sounds better. I'm gonna have a smoke, guys. We will tell. Good, you don't tell any of that story. We don't know nothing about that. Anyway, like I said, I was fine for about 2 years after that. I thought I was gonna die though that day, but I didn't want to. I don't know. It was funny because like he was attacking me, and I guess I could have asked for help.
Oh,
Did
so
some
your back problem didn't come to after that, didn't it?
about 2 years.
Yeah,
2 years after that, I started working it
because I
out.
remember you was on live when that happened.
I was on live. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
tell
you got
anybody.
that. Yeah,
I was literally did this whole live stream while this thing was attacking me. Because funny enough, I didn't want whatever it was to think that I was weak. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna take it until he gets bored, not thinking it would have took 2 hours for him to get bored. Because I was like, I don't know how I did it. It's really, I just thought I was gonna die. Yeah, like the pain was outrageous. It just felt like he was stabbing me with a rainbow. Like it was horrific. And as soon as I got
yeah,
off
you
that
was on
live
with
stream,
Boomer, and
it
I
was
was
it
there,
was
I
it
think,
was
at one
it
time.
was well, you were in the chat, but
Yeah,
on the panel, it was Danny. Danny invited me, Boomer, and
right.
Sherry.
Oh, that's Danny. That's right. Boomer was there too.
Yeah, it was Boomer, Sherry, and me on the panel with him. And
Yeah,
even Boomer and Danny were acting crazy that day.
yeah, but I was in chat. Yeah,
The live stream was the whole thing was weird.
yeah,
Anyway,
it was. I agree because I was feeling something because I even said it in chat. I said, something's not right.
Oh yeah. Well, it was funny.
I don't
I had
remember all of what I
11
said, but I said
spine.
a lot.
I've had 11 spine and have coronal implants as trail 12. Wow. I'm sorry, Carl. And it doesn't help. I was born with uh, a back abnormality. So my lumbar number
Dang,
5,
oh dang.
yeah, my lumbar number 5 is attached to my sciatica. They're supposed to move independently. Mine don't. They're
That's
attached.
why you got problems.
Um, that
That
used to give me a
alone, that
lot of problems
alone,
when I was younger. Whoa, holy
well,
crap.
that alone ought to get you. Yeah.
I was born that way, you know.
You haven't had pain all your life because of that?
No, like,
I'm,
well,
I'm surprised.
if, um, I was in a car accident that it aggravated it, but at that time I didn't even know the time of the car accident that I had that. And then I went numb one day and I couldn't move for days. My parents were on vacation, I'll never forget, and I was like a teenager. And I stayed behind from the vacation because I had to work. I was working at a bakery at the
Yeah, we
time.
got off subject, you guys, but it's okay.
Yeah, for 2 days I couldn't get out of bed. And then finally I was able to move. I was like, no, I'm gonna die here because I haven't eaten in 2 days. I went to the bathroom with everything where I was because I couldn't move, right? The whole thing was horrific. Nobody even called to check on me. I couldn't answer the phone anyway. Back then there was no cell phones. The phone was attached to the wall, right? So after that I went for all these tests and they told me, ah, lumbar number 5 and sciatica are fused together and um
Yeah, I
it's
got two,
aggravated and you need to take anti-inflammatory.
well,
They gave
actually
me some
4.
anti-inflammatories and that kind of didn't happen again. But
I got 4 fused together, and I've got sciatic nerve damage all the way down my leg. I got 3 pinched nerves, and I got a herniated disc that's pushing on it on the sciatic nerve part, and then I've got one up by my neck that's pushing on my spinal cord. So yeah, that's my back issues.
yeah,
They went to put, and then what messed me up the worst is when they put the pain stimulator in. They messed me all up. So that's why I own a wheelchair now.
to change the subject to something nicer, I found a painting of a doggy in the garbage and I can't wait to paint ghosties on it. Let's see. Christina, you are an Aries, lower back damage. I'm Aries, 24 March, born with spine. Oh gosh, had opt to walk. You think it's something with the Aries? Could possibly be. You were born March 25th. My sister was born March 23rd. She's on the cusp. And I was born April 11th on the master number. I always say that because I'm like, yay, I'm, like, mean something, but I probably have to go.
uh,
I could look. I'm sure there's millions of people born that day, but I'm the only
I,
one I know. So
I don't remember my numbers or what they're where they're at that's fused together and all that. I got it somewhere. I have the CE somewhere, but yeah, it is horrific pain. Um,
oh, the
yeah,
sciatica, yeah.
yeah. I've learned to deal with more pain than what is my doctors tell me than what and what I know. They tell me I've learned to live with more pain than most people can handle, and that's taking pain medicine. So um, it just dulls it. It don't never take it away. It never goes anywhere.
Yes, Kelly, that's what messed her up. They put that in there. First of all, they fucked up. They cut a nerve or something when they were putting it in, and then she was allergic to it. They wouldn't take it out. She almost died.
Yeah, it was
Did I
bad.
tell
It
the
was
story right?
the battery pack. I was allergic to it. But what was bad is what really caused that caused the infections.
Yeah.
But what caused me not to that I had to learn to walk again, basically. Well, it is what happened. Um, is because he cut too deep, and he cut whatever he cut in there. He cut nerves and whatever else, tendons or whatever, to help me walk and stay straight and stuff. I don't know what he done, but he done a chop job, and he messed me up pretty good. He didn't want to take it out. The specialist for infections told me he had to take it out because it was killing me. He said I wouldn't live 2 weeks if they didn't take it out because he was throwing every antibiotic he could at me and it wasn't working. I mean, I looked like warmed over death. I mean, literally, you could see it in my face. But yeah, it was horrific, and I don't think anybody, unless they're not walking already or they're 100% sure that they can't live without it to get a pain stimulator. I wouldn't recommend anybody getting one.
Hmm.
I just not anymore.
No.
I mean,
Oh, Evie, that's beautiful.
I was in rehab for 4 months, just
Yeah.
learned to walk again.
Yeah, it was bad, Kelly.
So that's why I'm like I am, you guys. That's why I'm homebound and well, pretty much I'm homebound because I made myself that way. But um, the shape I'm in is it decreased because of all this.
Right, Kelly, because you know it's it's it doesn't always happen that you're allergic, or something, or that you have a shitty doctor that cuts your nerve, can't see boom, fuck bastard. But excuse my language. Sorry, YouTube land. But it could happen, and you know,
Well, the
even
reason
my
why
my mother's like we used to call her Aunt Margot. That's how close my mother and her were. We called her Aunt Margot. My mother knew her since they were younger. Um, and she went to have she had pain in her toes because she had a really bad bone spur. And they said, no, it's okay. We'll just cut the bone spur. It's a normal, everyday kind of surgery, a bone spur, you know. Well, they cut too deep, and she couldn't walk after that. You know, I found
well,
spinal difference comes from Welsh family side. They took bone spurs out my spine from C1 to C6.
the reason why I even considered getting it was because my cousin she got it and it worked
Ah,
fine for her. She went through it with flying colors, all the whole 9 yards. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this. So I did the trial where you wear it for a week. Only you wear it on the outside of your body, not on the inside. Well, the leads are on the inside, but the battery and all that's on the outside. Well, he didn't have to cut me very much to do that. So why he had to cut me so much the second time around, I don't have any idea. But anyway, he put the leads in there the first time and it worked. It worked. I had it on for a week and it worked really, really well. But the surgery is what got me when he put it in permanently.
yeah. And that's Carl. Danny too has bone spurs all over the poor thing. Like
Yeah,
I can't even take them out. There's so many,
yeah.
and it's painful. And like I said, my aunt had one. So they took out too much. She couldn't walk. Then they decided, okay, we'll take a little from somewhere else and put it there. And that messed her up real bad. She was like, no, the more you try to fix it, the more they fuck me up.
When I come home, when I come from home from having that surgery, or when I went into rehab, I'll say this: I was on Lyrica, I was on um, the other one, gabapentin. I was on both of them, both sets. Not and not just they're different, but I was they're about the same, but just a little different. I was on both of them. I was on Oxycontin, time release, 30 milligram in the morning and 30 at night, in the evening. I was on fast release oxycodone, 10 milligram for a day in between the to help settle it during the day, even though I had the time release. And then, and then on top of that, um, I took Advil or ibuprofen uh, once a day, and it was just in all my other medicine. But I was on some strong pain medicine when I come home, and I was like that for years, for a couple of years, and I backed myself down, and I'm off the time release, so I'm only on the other, and so far I'm managing it, but the pain is still there. But you have to get to a point to where you don't want to be so out of it that you can't see straight,
Yeah.
and I just can't do that myself, and so I brought myself down off of it. I told him, look, something's got to give. Take me off of this one. I went off of gabapentin, and I kept the Lyrica. Went off gabapentin, and I still have the oxycodone, but that's it. The other, that gabapentin, it make between that and the Lyrica, it make my hair fall out. I was coming out by the. It's still coming out though. I can't say it was that then, but exactly. But I know I quit taking the gabapentin and stopped falling out. So might have been.
Yeah.
I found it's fine if it comes from Welch family. So they took. Ooh, it does? Huh.
Yeah. It made me really slow and stupid.
Yeah, Kelly, it did me too. It didn't make me stupid. It was like I just was in slow motion all the time. It's like I just sitting here, watching TV like it was, and I'm thinking, what time is it? You know, it was crazy.
Oh, there you go, Carl. Yeah, some things don't mix with people. You just can't take them. I remember when my daughter was younger, said she had depression. I don't think she had depression. I think she had something else because anyway,
Well,
they gave her medicine for depression, like I don't know, 13.
I take the Lyrica I take. I don't take it for the pain per se. I do, but it's for my fibromyalgia, and I took myself off of it too, actually, and I was off of it for like 4 months, and I had to go back on it. But I went back on it a lower dose, way lower dose than what I was taking.
Yeah,
and
and now
I
you're not taking
still
them together. They were taking them both together.
I was taking them both together, yes, and I stopped the one, and then I kept the Lyrica, but the Lyrica I was taking, I finally went off of it too. I wasn't
Yeah,
taking either one of them, and for a while, and but I had to go back on the Lyrica because I just the pain was too much. I mean, I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't. If you guys know that's been around and knowed me for years now, you know there for a while I didn't sleep.
yeah.
I didn't sleep 4 hours half the time,
No, and
and
I used to love to sleep, and I remember during the pandemic, Miss Mary and I would be on her channel sometimes 11 hours one time. I had
yeah,
to go to the bathroom so bad I thought I was gonna
yeah.
die. I was like, Mary, I gotta go.
But I don't sleep. I didn't sleep. I mean, it
No,
was
she didn't.
crazy.
She'd be up
So
all the time. I was like, "No."
when I went back on it, it took me a while to get where I could function with it, and stuff, but to kind of sleep some. But my sleep cycle is so messed up because of being in pain. I'm sure Carl's got the same problem. I'm sure all of you that is in pain, you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. I may sleep for 6, 8, 10 hours. Then the next day I may not sleep at all because of the pain.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean, it just
funny
depends.
because what when I get the pain, I lay down, right? Because if I'm laying, the pain subsides. Because my pain comes from bending, sitting, walking, touching, even lifting something, even a cup, all day. Lifting my coffee cup all day gives me, all these pains, right? So when I lay down, I feel better, right? And I try to like play a game or something laying down because once I lay in that bed, I'm going to sleep. I don't care what time it is. I don't care if I just woke up. I'm going to sleep. So I can't. Like I try not to lay in bed because otherwise I'll be all damn.
I understand what you're saying because I I don't know. It's like you just automatically just shut down, go to sleep.
Yep.
But I know that they wanted to give me something that make me sleep, but they found out they couldn't because I have sleep apnea, and people with sleep apnea they don't want you to deep sleep I mean they don't want you to go to sleep so sound that you just stop breathing.
Yeah.
So they watch what they give you. So I haven't took anything to sleep, um, unless it would be melatonin. I've took
Right.
some of that, but
Yeah.
I'd rather just sit with the pain. I want to live, so I don't want to stop breathing. So
Carl says he uses Tibet Tibet temple balls of resin works better than any pharma um, of resin, like the hard. And what do you do with them? That's interesting. I would like to look that up. Oh, we will get back to once we finish um doing the religion ones for Spiritual Thursday. We will go. I want to do we're gonna do herbal teas for your chakras, clearing out your chakras, and so you clearing spirit block, all that stuff we're gonna go over.
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot left. There's a lot left we can do on. It's just remembering and figuring it out and
Yeah.
getting and Miss Christina. She's the one that does the research. I'm just here, you guys. I just lend my face
She's
and the
she's
computer when
here.
I have it.
She's here, so if I have to go to the bathroom, she can keep you guys company.
There you go. It's about the extent of it. There you go. She just does.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, today I'm tired because I got up early and I'm just like exhausted. I still have the crossword to do, and I still should eat something like dinner. I haven't, guys. I don't know what it is. but I have not been hungry. I used to get hungry. Everybody gets hungry once in a while, right?
Right.
No, and
Well,
if the kiddos didn't remind me sometimes, hey, frickin' eat, I would go days without eating. Like, thank God they have.
I'll tell you later what I think is causing yours.
So, so, but just like, I don't know. I forget. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not hungry.
Mm,
Like I used to get like, oh my God, I'm starving. I gotta eat something, right? Get that way
I
when
think
they
I know,
don't eat
but
for a long time, right? But I've been like forgetting. I'm telling you, if the kids don't remind me, like, hey, and I'm like, oh, we have to eat, right? Um, then I would forget. I'd go days without eating. The other day, I went, and then I was like, I went into the bathroom, and I got like, I started seeing the little stars, like I was gonna pass out. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, oh shit, did I
if
eat?
I didn't eat, I would know because
Yeah.
I'd be nauseated. Um, that wouldn't be the word for it. I'd be
Yeah.
sick to my stomach. Well,
Those types of,
went through 4 days, almost 5, in the hospital when I was in the hospital last time. I didn't have no food or liquids either. They give me ice chips. I
oh,
ate ice chips for 4.5 days. We have 2 to 3 hours max every few days.
it just stopped. Usually, when your pendulum just stops, sorry, I'm gonna answer Mary. So
I
if
know
I'm
I'm gonna eat
asking
stuff
a
too.
question, like, and it just stops and they don't give me an answer, it's because they can't answer you. Now, when you said, did you ask them, can you take them to Christina's? Did they answer that? Because usually when you ask a question and the pendulum just dead stops, they can't answer you. And there's a reason why they can't answer you. It's a guide for you, it's a message for you. You have to figure it out. It's a maybe animal totem that's coming to see you for a reason. That's usually why the pendulum will just stop. So maybe ask the question a different way, like, are you going to take Vincent to Christina's? If it says no, like that, they'll be able to answer. Then you know it's something for you. And that's why they stop the pendulum dead, because it's something they can't tell you. When that pendulum stops dead, I know Sarah can't tell me.
Okay, why
When
would she
I
get the
was
name if
first
it's
doing this, and I was asking them questions that, humans should know some of these things, the pendulum would just stop dead. And I was like, oh, okay. And then they would be like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's ask a different question.
well, that's how she asked it. She said, no, I asked if there was a Vincent at my house, or is he a guide? Is he a guide? And it stopped. So 9 chances out of 10, see, you're supposed to know, you're supposed to find out your guides on your own. They won't tell you.
Well,
So
yeah.
it's a
Right.
possibility that
He
it is
might
a
be
guide.
he might be a new guide, and
Right,
that's
that's what I'm saying.
why,
He might be a new guide for her.
or visiting. Because sometimes you get teacher guides. They're not going to stay long. They're
They probably could have
going
told her
to teach
that.
you. No, they won't.
Oh, well,
It's
no,
for
not
you
if
to
they,
learn. It's for
well,
you to learn.
okay, that's what I was just going to say. Not if
Yeah.
it's teaching her. No,
Right.
they won't. But if it's teaching one of the other guides,
No, no,
I
no.
can't see them not
If they're
second.
usually it's there to teach her something.
Right.
So
So,
if Vincent's there to teach her something, they're
right.
not going to tell her.
I knew
She
what you
got
were
the
saying. I
name
knew the
because
difference
Vincent
there. I was
wanted
just
to
saying.
let her know he was there.
Right.
They're not going to give her any information. She has to figure it out. So it's a, yeah. So just
I
ask
agree.
you other questions, different way, and then see what they could tell you. But when that pendulum stops dead, they can't tell me. I asked something they can't say, and I go, okay. I'll figure it out, or I do the real lazy thing, and I'm like, Danny, do you know? And if he tells me, then I got over on one. But if he's like, I can't tell you that, then I'm screwed. I gotta
Well,
try
I
to
would
figure it out.
say, I would say by him not being able to tell her, or the pendulum not being able to tell her,
Yeah.
that it has to do with they can't tell her because he's there for her,
Right.
right?
Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
needs to, it's something she has to figure out for herself.
Right. That's what it means when the pendulum stopped dead. It
Yeah.
was a bit weird to be circling and then stop dead. Yeah, but that's what it
Even
is.
if we,
Like,
even if
oh,
you ask a
she
question, you
asked the
kind of,
question. We can't say nothing. Stop
well,
it quick.
right. Even if you're on a spirit box and you ask a question that they can't tell you, it gets deathly quiet. I mean, they don't say nothing. You don't hear
Yeah,
nothing coming
it's
through it.
not like, oh, I can't tell you. They don't say that. It's just like, you know. And I've had that happen tons of times where and it's going, and I'm like, oh, this, and it's like, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to ask you that. Um, but and they won't even do, like, Sarah won't do a maybe, because you got to think of it too. And this is what I say to people, like, they're like, oh, well, they could do the maybe. I'm like, no. Do you know how much energy it takes them to use these items that we came up with for them to use? It takes energy, right?
Uh huh.
She will not do a maybe. It's yes, no, or I'm not telling you. That's the fuck it. And if she ain't telling me, it stops dead. It's either yes or no. She's not wasting her time. Maybe. Like, what the fuck is that? Because she would slap me. Yeah, she would. She'd be like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing that. You know. But at first I thought maybe they would do it. Like, I'm like, is there a maybe? They were maybe the pendulum stopped. Like, that's what it
There's
is.
no
Screw you.
maybe.
Ah, see that? Right. Exactly, Evie. Do the pendulum for a yes or no for me. I'm asking the question here, but not in chat. Is that okay? Yes, but I have to get the pendulum because I didn't bring it out with me because it didn't bring it out with me today, which is odd because I normally always do. So, Mary, keep them busy. It was so crazy, but it stopped dead. I thought he might be upset with me. No, he just couldn't tell you.
What?
Does it raise your heart rate? Does it give you? Oh, oh, she's asking Carl. Yeah. Okay, wait. Let me go get the pendulum for Diane.
Okay. Oh, you got okay. I was reading that where Kelly had wrote there to Carl. No, I mean I don't think they would get upset over you just asking that question, or trying to talk to them. I mean, I know that you're nice to them and you treat them well, so I can't see them getting mad. I mean, it would take a lot to make them mad. I mean, as long as you respect them and respect what they are and who they are and what they can do, I think you're good. Andre, you're not so good. Oh. Carl, I don't know why you popped in my head, but you did. You popped in my head today. And I was like, I haven't heard from Carl in a while, and I hope he's okay. So I went to your messenger, and it said you'd been on an hour before. So I thought, okay, I'll message him then. And that's when I sent you the link to us and told you we was on and checking on you just to see because got a little connection there or something, something. I don't know. That's all I got was that you're Carl, and I was thinking about you and what you've been going through and stuff, and what you told me, and I'm like, I decided I better check.
Hi, Scott. You're still here, Andre. How are you, Andre? Honey, not so good. I'm sorry, Andre. We all have those kinds of days.
Rash around your knee.
Oh
You been out in the woods?
no, he's been injured, and his
He said
knee.
he's got a rash. I thought he got a rash.
Oh well, he can't walk a lot. I don't think with his knee, right, Scott? Is it wrapped your knee so you don't move it? Because if wrapped, I mean, those wraps
Oh, it says wrap.
irritate you. I don't know. Um, Diane, funny enough, I was asking about you, but also funny enough, right? I always have my pendulum. Like I swore, I used my pendulum yesterday for the crossover. I had all the crossover stuff in a little bag that I brought out here.
Oh,
Gorgeous
the
bag.
knee brace. Okay.
The knee brace. There you go. Yeah. That thing, the back brace drove crazy. I always had rashes. Sweating, working with the back brace. But the pendulum wasn't in the bag. So then I go, okay, so I probably put it on the table because I was fixing it 'cause I want a little arm help. I looked everywhere. I was like, damn, where did I put the pendulum? I couldn't find it, Diane. And then
Get some hydrocortisone cream and put on it,
then we found it.
Scott, to help stop the itch.
Yeah.
It works. I take the pills to stop the itch with me because I had really bad itching going. Anyway, it was another story, and I'm not going to get into that one. But anyway, it was my back and legs, but I'm not going to explain why. Um. Anyway, uh, they gave me them to stop the itching because actually the itching was all over. Because I scratched my belly till it was
So it
in
was
the middle
raw.
of the night. It was waking me up to scratch my. I was scratching my stomach so bad that I was cutting myself. So if that tells you anything,
Yeah.
it was
All
bad.
right. Let me just do Diane now. Diane, are you ready? Did you ask your question out loud though?
She asked it at home.
If you asked it at home,
Yeah.
do you know what Diane wants to ask you, sweetheart? Okay, just for you know. Okay, this is yes, Diane circle. Diane no again. Sorry. No is back and forth. Okay. Um, ready? Okay. So the okay. Okay. Is Diane's answer yes, Diane? Whatever your answer is, whatever you were asking, it's yes. That's the answer. Answer is yes.
Okay. Ask it for me if
Okay.
I'm gonna find a place this week,
Oh, she says yes.
this coming week.
She says yes. Okay.
For me.
For you too, yes.
Oh, cool.
All right. So I hope
So
that
you
helps
still put
Diane.
some on there, Scott. Some hydrocortisone cream would stop that itch there in that spot.
Yes, it's Jerry with a G. I think I told you that when I spelled it. And I was like, I don't know, it's like Jerry, but with a G. And they're like, it is Jerry. It's pronounced Jerry, but it just has a G. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was like some, crazy name. But yes, I knew it was Jerry with a G. I knew. Because I think when he first said his name, you were here, and I told you he's gonna come, and it's Gerry. I think that's how he spelled it for me when I first met Jerry.
Well, it took a minute for me to figure out
Hi, Cassie Love.
how Jacoby's is spelled. It's spelled like it's like Jacob with an E on the end, but
Hmm.
and the E would be silent, but that's not how he pronounces it.
Yeah.
He pronounces it Jacoby.
Can I ask? Oh, Carl has a question for you, Sarah. She wants to know: is it the ant and the dog that keep going past?
Past
She says
tense.
yes, Carl. You're exactly right.
Well, Scott, I hate to hear that.
Yeah.
Hope it gets better.
Well, I tell you, the not being able to bend kills. I think that's why they let me go from that job that I held a job for a month and a week in January. Um,
I remember that.
because, you know, first of all, after about 4 hours there, I went from looking like this to looking like this because I was so swollen. My hands were swollen, everything. I looked like a big beluga. Okay. So, and you could tell the difference from when I walked in to when I left. Like, because in the morning you'd have to take a picture and send it to them saying, okay, I'm here. And you take a picture in front of the thing and, you know, you put it in, and that was like your time card. And then when you would go home, you'd take a picture. And one day I'm just like, holy crap, look at it. Like, it's craziness, right? And and then I remember one of the older customers said to me, there's a piece of paper on the floor. This piece of plastic, someone's going to trip. I knew the older lady couldn't pick it up. She's looking at me, and I'm like, man, I went to bend down. I thought I was going to die. I was like, nope.
Well, I knew you was swelling because I seen it in your face. I said something to you about it.
Oh, yeah. But my hands were the worst. And
Yeah.
it's because standing, I think your feet are going to swell, your ankles, your thighs, whatever. Your legs are going to swell. No, my hands were so freaking swollen. I was like, what the hell? I didn't do anything with my hands. It's crazy. So, well, thanks, Carl, for telling me what's wrong with
Well,
me.
I noticed
Maybe I'll be able to get to
that
the doctor one of these days.
Frank's hands have been swelling. I've noticed them at night being bigger than they were in the morning.
Yeah, but he's at least moving around. There's a reason. Well, I was moving around. That's why they don't swell now that I don't stand up for 8 hours straight. Oh, update. The attorney had me fill out a Social Security disability benefit for. Yeah,
Probably because
well,
I would venture to say because they're going to try and get you disability.
yeah, he's gonna try to so you don't have to go to work.
Yep. It's a temporary disability because
But
sometimes you have to, sometimes if your company has disability insurance through them, they have to do that too. So
Yeah,
uh,
but
it's a
Social
possibility.
Security disability is through the state.
Right. Well, hang
It's
on.
not the workers' comp disability because
I
workers'
know.
comp disability, you get more.
I know.
But
I was trying to tell him. I was trying to tell him that. I
yeah,
was trying to get that out, and then now Social Security itself, there is not a disability. It's not only through the state; it's through the government. There is
right.
state and there is government disability. It's where people get confused because SSI is state based.
Mm.
State pays that, even though the government has tells the state whether you're eligible or not. It's still state based. And then they have the government, and it's SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. SSI is Social Security Insurance. It's a liability like insurance.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. So there's two different kinds, and it does pay out differently.
yeah. But also, Scott, if they're trying to say by filling out the Social Security disability, if it's not temporary disability, he's trying to say like they disabled you
Well,
permanently.
they very well
If
could have.
Social Security approves you, then his case is better. I'm assuming because it's like, no, he's disabled. You
Well,
guys,
he could his lawyer could be going after his Social Security for him. I know my cousin he was working at university, and
yeah, but this was through workers' comp. So
okay, his was too. I
yeah,
started on that first. I got him the workman's comp disability through the school first
yeah,
that he didn't know that he could do. He just forgot all about it. He got shocked at work, and he died. They brought him back twice. Anyway, um, he ended up having heart issues, but anyway, um, I got him that, and then because of they said that the doctor said that he would not improve any more than what he already had. The same lawyer that he had through his schooling part and all that went ahead and filed his disability, his regular disability.
right.
It went after it for him. So I'm saying that Scott's could be doing the same thing.
Oh yeah. Well, right, but that's after he already exhausted. I'm assuming he already exhausted. Like
Well,
Scott.
no, you don't have to exhaust it. They can go ahead and file that.
Oh,
Because if you're drawing disability from your work, regardless, um, you can still file for regular disability
oh, okay.
and ugh, and wait for it,
Oh,
through that way, because it'd just switch over. That one will drop
oh,
and the other one will pick it up.
right.
So I'm just saying that's in they'll be close to the same on money, because the regular disability from the state government, wherever you get it from, whichever, will base it off your income,
Right.
and it's what they're doing in his work will base it off the income that he, because I'm sure that he's not making this. He may not be. I'm not depends. It goes for company. He may not be making the same amount he was making when he was working, even though he's drawing from them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But
So
so the company you were working for where you got hurt, this new company that you had just got the job recently, didn't you? They terminated you because you didn't come back to work. So that's why the lawyer's going after it. I'm telling you because
well, his old company terminated him. He's got a new company now. And are you going through workman's comp with this company?
well, this is the new company is where he got hurt, where he hurt his knee. He fell.
Right.
So I'm assuming he means this, this company now that he was working for terminated him because
Yeah, you're
and
not going to be eligible for SSI. They're going to go after SSDI for you. I can tell you already. And I say that because SSI is for like people who haven't worked enough with the for the point system for SSDI, or they haven't worked at all, or
right,
they have a mental disability that they, something like that.
yeah,
Um, children or whatever, but
yeah,
uh, and have never worked or whatever. But it's based off your income. So what I'm
yeah.
saying is that it will go on that
Well, if they
standpoint.
terminated you, but you're still getting the workers' comp from them, yeah, yeah, it's a newer company. I got you. But if they
Yeah.
terminated you, they can't terminate the workers' comp because you got hurt through them.
Yeah, but it's through the new company, so no, I don't think they'll terminate him.
He said yes. It's a new company that terminated. That's the question I asked. He said yes.
Oh,
So if they terminated him while he was
yeah.
on disability, that's why the lawyer is doing all this because the disability will, I'm assuming, run out. I don't know how long they pay it after you're terminated. Anyway, the system sucks all around it. But yeah, I have enough points, thanks for Social Security. I have 33. I think that's more than enough. So I have to just find a pro bono doctor. Do they do this? Do they have doctors for poor people who don't have insurance? Like, what goes on? Right. Yeah, that's the newest company, right, Scott? And that's the one you got hurt. Ah,
He works for a new company. He
oh,
got terminated from the last one, and
right.
he works for a new company. He just got this job like a
Yeah,
few couple months ago, 2 3 months ago. He's
but
still
and
working. That's where he got hurt at.
that's where you got hurt at. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Pro
pretty sure I'm right
doc-
on that.
Oh yeah, I gotta look at. Maybe there's a free clinic here. What do you think? I think if I could just clinic Queens.
What?
I
Person?
was just thinking about that. Been unemployed for 2 months. Yeah. Oh, they do have a community health center. Oh, they said this place is horrible to go to. Well, it's free, so what do they expect? Are free places supposed to be nice? I don't know. It's a medical clinic. I'd have to go to that one. Sorry, Mary, I didn't mean to confuse you. That's okay. Here in the UK, me and the missus get 1,400 a month on disability. But you could afford to live on that. See, in New York, that won't pay your rent, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
It's all right. You're all right. You didn't confuse me. So you've been unemployed for 2 months? Oh, I didn't know you lost your job. All right. I knew you was working for a new company, and then you got hurt. So they let you go, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why he got the lawyer.
All right. Got it.
Yeah, I don't want to. I want to do free.
Is that you two together, Carl, or peace? Separate? If it's separate, then it's more than what we get here. Well, not necessarily, because SSDI will give you uh it goes up there. It's like 2,600 or so. It goes way up there. It's like might be in at 3,000. I don't know, a month. It depends on what you made. Now SSI is different, state based, and now they would give you up to a certain amount. Well, he is talking pounds, I'm sure. Oh, he
Oh,
may not be, because Carl talks. He talks our language over here.
yes.
So he may not be.
Yeah, no, but I'm assuming for him in the UK, it would be UK money, which is fine, but still, like even in pounds, that enough to live on, you know?
Patrick.
Because pounds is not, how much is the difference right now? Not too much, I don't even.
I don't know.
Pounds to dollars.
£1 equals $1.33.
33 cents more a pound than a dollar. So it's not that far a difference, like, oh my God, you know? And money is both. We are taxed, right? So is it livable? Because, like I said, that's even at 33 cents more. No, pounds to dollars. So technically, in American money, you would get $1,859.22, which is still not a
And that's
in New
combined.
York.
That's
So
combined
how would
money.
you pay your other stuff, you know?
Wait a minute. That's combined money, and they tax it too.
And they tax it, yeah, of course.
Holy shit! You need to live over here, Carl, because they don't do taxes on it. Now you can take taxes out of it if you feel like you need to. Now after you make a certain amount, they want you to pay taxes on it. But it ain't
Right,
gonna be $1,400 you're gonna have to pay tax on. I'm tell you that.
right. Because like my retirement, like so that's together. So let's say split it in half. Like here, if you're retired and you don't make over, I think it is $1,800 a month, they don't tax you. Or now is it 3,000? Whatever it is, like it's like, oh, you're retired, you don't have to pay taxes. You paid your whole life, you know. So unless you make over a certain amount, you know. Hey, poet, how are you, love? I hope you're well. Good to see you again. I know that they had a different name, but I'm old poet. Sakaya, the new name. Yeah. We're doing good. I hope you're doing well. We were talking spirituality. Now we got into doctor and pains and problems and all that stuff. Because everybody's got it. Because we're all over the age of 40 here. Oh, I think almost all of us are over the age of 40. That's when all the aches and pains start happening. Yep. Yeah.
See, Scott, I know in the state of Indiana, and I believe it's everywhere that way. When you file for disability, they file both. They file SSI and SSD. And the reason why they do that is because if you don't make enough on SSI because of your income, whatever your income was, they automatically compensate it with SSD. I mean SSI. So I know when I first started drawing, I drawed a check from both of them because I didn't make enough to make up enough for the allowable amount of money a month to live. So that the SSI made up the difference. So, but now, I mean, that's why they file both of it at the same time.
Yeah.
That if you don't get one, then possibility you get the other. It's strange how that happens, but it's a point system. It's like a 10-point system they go by. I don't know.
Yeah.
5 point, 10
Oh,
point.
Paul, that's true. Because they pay all the hospital bills for him, dialysis, everything. He doesn't have any of those kind of bills. He might have deductibles here and stuff. I know my mother passed away, and they sent my sister. They sent my sister come and get counseling. We're so sorry. And they sent me a bill for the difference of what her medical paid. I was like, fucking paying this? Why the fuck should I be responsible? Because I was the one on the list to pull
You're welcome, Scott.
the cord, to take her off, whatever. So they sent me the bill. I'm like, I'm not fucking.
On the Carl, yeah, that's true, but I get what you're saying with that, but me personally, I don't have any bills, medical bills either. My insurance has paid all of it so far. It doesn't mean it will continue to do that. So far, I haven't had no medical bills. Now, every once in a while, the insurance may be slow paying it or whatever. They'll send me a bill, and I just have to go through the channels of getting it paid for them, through the insurance. Other than that, but I mean, I've had a few co-pays on medicine, stuff like that, but I haven't paid for an ambulance either or anything like that. But I get what you're saying. Like, you guys don't have any dental, you don't have any, it don't cost them to have their teeth fixed or nothing over there. That's what I was told anyway. That you can pretty much get new teeth over there for nothing.
Mm.
I mean, except for the cost of the teeth, I guess.
Yeah, we do
But as far as the
160
dentist part,
tax a
paid
month.
for.
It's
Huh?
not terrible. I get Medicaid with it pays my medical. Otherwise, I'd be screwed. We pay $16 for my last surgery and hospital stay. Oh, so that's pretty good, Kelly. I'm telling you, over here, I've been trying for months to try to get something from the state. After Mary gets settled with her apartment, maybe I'll have her call. I have her call the New York
Have
one.
you,
Give them, I'll be on while she's
Kelly, have you
talking to
applied
them,
for,
and
have
she
you,
can, yell at them because she knows their lingo. I don't know.
Kelly, have you tried for Medicaid? You can get Medicaid with your Medicare as a supplement.
I think she's too young though yet for that.
No, she's not. For Medicaid, she can get, if she's getting Medicare through
No,
SSD.
no, she's. Oh yeah. Oh, you're getting Medicare. Oh, okay.
Okay, if she's getting Medicare, she can get Medicaid too. I mean, and it's not, it doesn't matter her age on Medicare either.
Oh,
If
here
if you
they
if
give
you
you
made
Medicare if you're poor, Medicaid.
well,
But once you turn a certain age, then you go to Medicare here in New York.
okay, well, Medicare, you can get Medicare on disability
Oh, maybe on disability. Yeah,
if you draw SSDI, not SSI.
right.
SSI, you are eligible for Medicaid. SSDI, you can get Medicare and Medicaid
Hmm.
if you don't make too much money. Now, if you make too much money to get Medicaid,
Well,
then
no. Well, if she's on
they have a copay.
SSDI, how much are they going to give her?
Doesn't matter. There's a limit. They cut it. You may
Yeah.
have a copay for Medicaid, or if they may find you ineligible because you make too much money, and they'll make you pay for your own supplemental insurance.
Mm,
I'm just saying. That's why I asked her if she tried to get it.
right. Oh, they give it to you with SSDI. Oh,
Medicare, they do, yes. Medicaid, they do not. Medicaid is through the state welfare system.
yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. So they, I'm wondering if you go to the free clinic, do they help you get medical insurance for the state those damn shit? Do they?
Oh, where she live at? You have to go to, for Medicaid, you have to go to the welfare office and apply for it.
Oh, that's good, Carl.
Or apply online, through your state.
Yeah.
But it's worth having, let me tell you. I have I have Medicaid. I have Medicare, Medicaid, and Humana.
Mm. Ah, which reminds me, I forgot to call my sister again. Oh, I was supposed to tell her the emailed me about my aunt went to Greece to take care of some business with her house. Fine. Um, but I thought well, my grandmother's at the nursing home. I thought automatically it paid them out of her account, but I guess not because they sent me an invoice saying, "Hey, you didn't pay this month." I'm like, "What? Doesn't it come out automatically? My aunt doesn't have it set up that way. What does she do? Go with cash?" Like my aunt, she hates technology, so I could see her going with cash.
For what
So
now? For her what?
for her, because my grandmother's in a nursing home, but my aunt
Right.
pays for it because my grandmother has too many assets in her name. So the state doesn't pay. She pays for her stay at the nursing home. So my aunt obviously has been paying it, but my aunt is in Greece. So she must have, it's not set up automatically. And I'm like,
Okay, let me ask you this. Does your grandmother get Medicaid?
she pays for whatever medical she had. Well, no, she did pay up until 93. And because she paid all these years, now it's free.
She gets Medicare though?
I don't know. No, it's what it is from the state, but they won't pay for the home because she has assets in her name. And my grandmother
I'm
is
asking for a reason.
I don't think it's Medicare.
Because I'm going to tell you this, if it's Medicaid, they can go after all her assets after she dies. And they will get it.
No, it's not. She's paid for it. her premiums for like 50 years.
Okay, you can pay your premiums. She's paying premiums. It's not Medicaid, it's Medicare.
Yeah.
Medicare, they won't. Medicaid, though, if she was to have it, well,
No,
she
no.
probably has too much stuff to get it.
Yeah.
But if
Well,
she
that's it. They
did,
denied her, so she's paying her
it,
premium. They
there you
can't.
go.
When you pay, they can't take anything from you. She freaking paid.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
that the state's Medicaid system, when you die, if you have any property that they can sell, they will take it
Yeah.
and put it up for sale to get their money back if they can.
Oh yeah.
Now, Medicare does not, but
No.
Medicaid will.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why. Well, they denied her because they said no. You're like practically rich, and
She made too much
her
money,
standards
or had
because
too much.
she
Right,
she she had she has two houses in her name.
right. You can't have the only thing you can have to get Medicaid, or even SSDI. You can't have a lot.
Yeah.
SSDI, you can only have a certain amount. I don't know. It depends on probably go what state you're in, but
Yeah.
there's a certain amount you can have and can't have. But to draw SSI, you can have a house that you're paying for or that you own. You can have a car. Car can't be new. Um, but it can't be over a certain amount. I want to say 6,500, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. I think it could be more than that. I think because I've had cars more than that. But anyway, they limit what you can have in your name. Now, if you own two houses or three or property, no, no, no.
Yeah. Well, that could be Kelly, but she's always paid for her medical. Nothing's ever been free because she has all the properties in her
Yeah,
name, and
she has too much
but
money for
also
that.
she didn't work enough to get anything from the state because most of the time she was a house. I think she only worked for 10 years.
Well, she's paying her premiums for her. The premium is for her Medicare. You got premiums that you pay. You have to pay. I don't care who draws Medicare. You got a premium
Yeah.
that has to be paid. Either you're paying it or your state's paying your Medicaid's paying it for you. Medicaid pays it for me, so I don't have to. But
Yeah.
if I didn't have Medicaid, I'd have to pay that premium.
Yeah.
And right now, I
This
think
is
it's like two hundred
oh,
twenty some
Greece
odd
does
dollars
the
a
same
month.
thing. Yeah. Greece does. Greece is, you know, but they do other things that are nice because, like, when they first changed from the drachma to euros, everybody was confused about how to use it. Greek people are very stuck in their ways. And they were all like leaving all this change. Like, here's the change, thinking that the change was like here, nickels, dimes, pennies. But change was actually dollars. And they were like leaving it as tips. And it was psychoness. Nobody knew how to use these euros. And people were losing their houses and everything. They didn't know how to pay. And so the state would be like, okay, we own your house now, but you could live in it, because they were like, they don't like homeless people. They don't like people on the streets. They won't. That's not happening in Greece.
No, Abby,
You can
no,
live
we're
in
not
your house.
doing
We
that.
own it, but you can live in it. That's all you really need, is to live in it.
Well, now, Abby, if you have never worked, if you haven't worked in the States or anywhere
Yeah.
your entire life, when it's time for you to retire, no, you're not. I don't think you're going to draw a check. I've never heard of one drawing Social Security, because if they haven't worked, you have to
No,
pay it in to get it.
you have to put it in to get it. Yeah.
Right. And
You
see,
can, of course, like my friend, um, was mentally disabled from a child, right?
You get SSI, but you won't.
Yes, you get SSI, and
Right.
it's like some kind of disability. He'll get it his whole life. He can't work mentally. He's not stable enough to work, right? So
Right.
he never works. So they'll give you something else, but you can't get a pension. They'll give
Right.
you a
Even if you're straight,
disability.
and say you get an age of retirement, which is 65 here, and
Yeah,
they would make you wait till then to get it, unless you take a cut in it, you can get it sooner. But anyway, you could draw SSI
right.
if you'd never worked. But
Yeah, disability.
if you're
If
married, listen to me a minute.
yeah,
If you're married, I know this to be a fact. If you're married, you cannot draw SSI even though you have never worked. Your spouse's money is to take care of you too.
yeah. So basically, if your spouse would die, then you would get his pension, but you
You,
won't get anything from you.
and
He was
and
the
and on this,
worker, and that's it. You would get
right,
nothing. Yeah,
but he can also draw on his pension a certain amount. It won't be a lot, but you can draw like 200 some odd dollars, I think it is. It was. It's probably up to 300 something now because of inflation and all that. But you can draw that um, on your wife or husband, whoever it is,
yeah,
if they haven't worked or not working. But that's all you're going to be able to draw for on them.
yeah. Until they pass away. So it's like your husband worked, he'll get the pension,
Right,
and that's supposed to take care of both of you because he worked and took care of both of you. So that's supposed to take care of both of you.
right. And when he
When
dies, then you can
when
draw it.
he dies, you're getting his
Well,
pension, but
you'd have to file for it.
right, you have to
You'd
file.
have to file for it. You don't automatically switch over. You got to file for the pension after they pass away.
Yeah, you got to file for it, of course. But here's another kicker. If he divorces your ass right before he retires, or right after he retires, if he divorces your ass, you get shit. He decides he's going with a 30-year-old, you get nothing. That's how it works in the States. So yeah, you're a piece of shit, basically.
Now wait a minute. I know this too because my mother run into this. If he had another spouse before you that has kids and the kids are still underage, and even though he's been married for 5 years or whatever it is, if something would happen to him, the other spouse can draw money off of him as well as you.
Yeah, you'd have to split it with the other wife. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to split it with her and the kids. Yep, that's how it is. It still is like that.
Yep.
So, and that's on SSI and SSD. Our Social Security. The Social
Well,
Security you
even
have
with
to split.
a private pension, because I worked in a pension department for
Right,
a union, and you had to write down when you died who was getting your pension, right?
right.
So, and here's another kicker, and this is regardless whether you worked or not, right?
Right.
If your husband died before he starts taking his pension, you don't get it.
Nope.
The
Even
state
though he
gets
paid it
it.
in.
You get nothing if he dies before he starts collecting his pension. You
If
get nothing.
she's right on that because uh the only way you draw that is if he drawn it before he dies and he has to be of age to even draw it and
Yeah,
not working.
right. But if
And
he decided to work more
and
and
he
not collect his
and the
pension,
kicker
'cause
is
here, technically, you don't have to collect your pension until 71 and a half. 71 and a half.
and the kicker is that he can give his pension to somebody else.
Oh, no. Well,
Yeah, they can, because
Here, you,
I've seen it happen.
yeah, but here you have to have a marriage certificate. Now,
Well,
that was the rules. Like, because like I said, I worked in the pension department, so I used to fill out the paperwork for these
right.
people all the time.
But I mean, it
And they
went
were like,
under.
"Oh, well, I want to leave it to my kid." I'm like, "You can't. If it's not your wife, you cannot leave it to them." Right? But the state's gonna take it because you have to leave it to your wife. Like, you have to share it. It has
You
to
can
be
leave it to your
your
wife or
wife.
your children,
No, no
or your
children.
children.
The
If the
only
wife's
way
not
the
alive,
children, the only way the children get the pension is if, and this is the kicker, if you're collecting, okay, like my mother was collecting and her husband was dead, then she was able to put my sister as the beneficiary if she died. And then my sister collected
right,
a little bit for whatever little time it was.
right.
Her husband had to be dead and she had to be collecting.
I think
If
it
my
goes.
mother died and didn't collect that pension, it would have went to the state.
It
That's the
really goes
only way.
by.
The husband has to, your spouse has to be dead, and you have to not be married in order to leave it to a child. And you have to be collected.
It
Suck,
really goes by. It's really state to state, or company to company,
baby.
whoever you work for,
Yeah,
whatever they feel, how their policy is or whatever. I know
yeah,
with Teamsters, when my dad was working, he was through Teamsters, and I know his pension. He got his pension, but when he died, my mom got it, and it's a good thing she did because we lived on it till she got his Social Security.
yeah.
So she got widow's pay. But when she went after his widow's pay, she found out that his ex-wife wasn't really his ex-wife. But so they were at a standpoint; they didn't know who to give it to, her or her.
Yeah.
So her or my mom, rather. So what happened was, it's a long story. I guess he didn't know it either. But anyway, she,
That's
her
right.
and my mom talked on the phone to each other, and because of mom having minor children to raise still, which was me and my brother, because I was 16 when my dad died, uh, she went ahead and let mom draw it on us and herself too, which was what she said she didn't need it. She had remarried and she was fine, and she would draw his. So luckily, the woman wasn't money hungry,
Yeah.
because if she had been, mom would have been screwed. And she'd been with him since she was 19 years old, 18, 19, something like that. I don't know, young. Anyway, because they were 15 years apart. Uh, she wasn't. He was. She wasn't that young when they got together. I'm sorry. Um, I was thinking she went to Chicago when she was 18, but she was. I believe she was in her late 20s when they got together and they got married. She had her first kid when she was 30. Same way I did. I mean, yeah, I was 30 before I had one. So, uh, anyway, eh, we give you all the rundown of all that.
Yeah, there you go. Now you know how
That's how
the pension system works. Because
it was.
well, I worked for Local 74. That was the custodial union at the time. Now the custodians moved over to the SEIU. What is it? Um, Local 133. I don't know. But anyway, so when I worked for the custodial union, yeah, you couldn't leave it. You could put a beneficiary because there was a death benefit that the union would pay out, and that you could put anybody. You could put your brother, you could put the next door neighbor. They didn't give a shit who you put for the death benefit. Before the pension, it was your wife. If you when you wanted to go collect it, had to be your wife. Yeah, and it was so
I
bad.
agree.
It
I
was
agree. That's what I'm getting confused with. I got that and the other confused. You're right. The
it
death
was the
benefit
death
could go to
benefit.
anybody. Pension had to go to the wife first.
Yeah, the pension
Right.
had to go to the wife. You're right. Yeah. You couldn't leave it to Joe Schmo. It had to go to your wife. If you didn't like your wife, divorce her. Then the state would get it. You pick, because if you weren't married, the state was getting it. um, but the death benefit anybody could get. Yeah.
Well, my dad wanted my mom to have it. We knew that. He
Well, of
told us
course.
that. You know, he had no idea that he had no idea he was still married to the other one. They thought they thought they were divorced,
Yeah.
but apparently it didn't go through the court like they thought it had. And because back then it was, you know they lived in Kentucky. What's that tell you?
It was brought in to stop men who weren't. Oh, well, yeah, that would be nice, Evie. The state doesn't step in like that over here. Um, like I said, if you stay home with the kids, that's your problem. And like Kelly said, that's why a lot of that stopped because, um, thank you to the lurkers. A lot of people are not having kids like they used to. My aunt had 5 girls. Nobody's having 5 kids now. A, it's too expensive. B, you can't stay home with them because you won't be able to afford any of the bills. And the husbands are not like they were. So when he leaves you high and dry for a 30-year-old, what are you going to do with 5 kids and no money? You know, the state will give you food stamps and maybe Section 8 or whatever. But when it comes to a pension, like, you're not getting any of that.
Oh, so
Nothing.
they still have common law over there, Carl. I didn't know that. They used to have it here and they stopped it. It used to be common law here if you was together. I believe it was 7 years,
5 years.
5 years, five. It was five or
It
yeah, it
was
was
five
somewhere
years.
between 5 and 7 years. Anyway, they was considered your wife after that. Com, you
Yeah,
know,
now it doesn't matter. You can be with her 100 years. If you didn't marry her, she's not
right?
considered wife.
Yeah, they stopped it.
They stopped it because, people were dating longer and stupid crap going
And
on.
yeah, the people wasn't getting married. I mean,
Yeah.
people wasn't
Then the
going through
church wasn't
the
making their money. They put a stop to that shit because wedding people weren't
and
making the money.
Catholics
The
get that
church wasn't
alone.
making the money. The state wasn't making the money off the licenses. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Nope. Stop. So
Yeah,
now, yep,
that's part
it's
of
all
it.
about the money. In
Yeah, it wasn't legal. People were living together and all that and stuff. But in Australia, you're independent, huh? And you make
Yeah,
more money single. Well, I'd have stayed single.
yeah.
I mean, I would have all the way through.
They need people to immigrate. Listen to me. They don't need to have people from the United States come there, Evie. They need to take care of the people who are living there. If they change the costs of living for the people that live there, they would have kids. I mean, that's ridiculous. Now you can, like, I never, like, only now, China is figuring out that they screwed up, right? So they said, oh, the men, they only let you have 2 kids, right? And the men are better, they can work more supposedly than women. So everybody was killing the girl fetuses and they were only having male children, right? Well, guess what? Now there's
We need
such a
water.
shortage of Asian women that there's no one for these guys to marry. And now there's who they're gonna marry and how they're gonna have kids and how they're gonna if they
We don't.
marry Americans and this and that, but then you're not having the race, the race, is going to be all mixed, and they're going to start losing, what I'm saying, right? When you start mixing all the DNAs, you start losing the original, right? So now they're like, shit, fucked up. um and now you got to try to fix it, right? But yeah, Evie, but they really should look to take care of their people. Like, why would I immigrate there to pay more than what I might as well stay here? What the fuck am I going there for? you know because obviously they're not paying you enough to cover your cost of living. Here, at least the minimum wage would cover cost of living. So I would not move there so that I can't live. That would be ridiculous. I wouldn't even retire there because my retirement money wouldn't go as far as if I moved to a state where everything was cheaper, like some hick state somewhere, And that's why, do you know, Evie, that in Greece, there's all these Australian people who retire and go to Greece because their money goes further in Greece than in Australia. And now I think even Australia put a stop to that, someone told me. Someone said that if you won't get your retirement money if you leave the state of Australia. Is that true, Evie? Someone else was telling me that they couldn't leave because he wanted to come here with his kids, but he would only come a few months. It was a vacation. He would stay 2 months and then go back. Because he said they would take away his pension if he moved to the United States. Oh, India. Huh. Well, they're living. It might be a little different. They're living, too. India might be. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, you should find out, Evie. God forbid you want to retire and go to Florida. They won't give you your money. I would check into that. But he said they wouldn't give him his money, his retirement money. They wouldn't send it to a bank that was outside, and then you'd have to be in Australia to collect your money, right? So I think they even stopped that. But all the Australians used to go to Greece and retire there because their money would go longer. There's a lot of Australians in Greece. Um, anyway, I would check into it, Evie. I'm curious now too. But I heard they put a stop to that, and that's to keep people in there, spending money in their state. But I mean, I would say that should be illegal, but it's your government, and they could do whatever they want, just like our government could do whatever the hell they want. But yeah, it's crappy. Here, no. If I retire from New York and I want to go live in Florida, if I want to go live in the Poconos, if I want to go live, I could live wherever I want. They're gonna give me my pension. Our borders are wide open and we have a huge influx of everybody. That's why Christina was saying there was 127 different languages spoken. 120, yeah. Just in Queens. That's not all of New York. That's just in the borough of Queens. There's 5 boroughs in New York, right? City. And then you have Long Island, then you have Albany, Washington. That's all part of New York, upstate. But just in one borough, 120. Australia has a large population of Greek people. We used to have, Greeks from Athens. Yeah, well, Athens is expensive. It's the most expensive place in Greece. And if you're used to the city hustle and bustle, you don't want to go to a little island off of Greece to retire because It is. It's like I want to stay in the city, but I want my money to go further. Then yeah, I would see you going to Australia. But they used to retire a lot in Australia because they had, like I said, since they changed their money to euros, the Greeks aren't going anywhere. When they had drachmas, their money was worth way more, and they could go somewhere else because when the exchange rate was so much better. Now with the euros, the exchange rate is, you know, dust off your Google Translate. Yes. UK folks go to Spain and Thailand, Cambodia, nice. Yeah. You know where you could go and live like the biggest king in the world if you had money is if you go to the Philippines. I mean, the Philippines is a poor place for, but they're cleaning up a lot of it. But if you have money, you could buy a freaking mansion there and live forever in your little mansion. And it's a gorgeous place, It's just all poverty written. But your money would probably go, I don't know what kind of money they have, but if you had US money, you had a lot of US money, you could probably retire in the Philippines and live like a king. Had the second largest Greek population of people. Wow. That's interesting. See, so Greek people go there and Australian people go to Greece. They're switching. Do you have dual citizenship? No, because I never went to Greece. Funny enough, my mother's second generation. So my mother's grandparents immigrated here from Greece. Well, one immigrated from Greece and one immigrated technically from Turkey. So basically, when the Turks took over this part of Greece, they kicked all the Greek people out of that spot, right? So when technically they're Greek, but they immigrated from Turkey because Turkey took over that part that they were living in, and kicked all the Greek people out. So because they kicked them out, they came to America. They didn't go to a different part of Greece. They came to America because they were afraid they'd go to a different part of Greece and Turkey would take it over or something. Like, you have this. So they came to America when that happened. And then they had their kids here. So my grandmother was born here and my mother was born here. So my mother, when she was alive, didn't even have a dual citizenship. My aunt has a dual citizenship because when she got married, her and her husband moved to Greece, and they got, they got citizenship, and they had their kids there, and then they came back here. They came back here when the kids were young, and they got the kids' citizenship here, and they were here for a while, and then they went back to Greece. So they have dual. So my aunt has it, and her kids have dual citizenship, but not me. I haven't gone to Greece. I'm just an American. Cambodia is stunning. A lot of old Dutch and French built, very cheap to buy or rent. Oh, that sounds beautiful. That's nice. I was looking actually, when I do Sinister Sundays, guys. If you don't know, I do this series on Sundays called Sinister Sunday, where I do like haunted history on different places around the world that I will never get to in my lifetime, right? Now I have this list of where I want to visit when I die, and I have a bucket list of what I want to do when I die. I have to see this place, I have to see that place, right? So I was looking, I did one on New Zealand, and it looks gorgeous, and I was like, I'd like to live in New Zealand. I wonder if I could do that. I don't know how I'd get there because I hate planes, but hey, I could take a boat. I don't know. Oh, get ready for the day, Evie. Much love to you both. You and your daughter, and Luca too, and all the spirits at Evie's house. Much love to you guys. Have a good day, Evie love. Yeah, New Zealand look gorgeous. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes, now I hear you.
Bye, Abby. I was gonna tell you my brother. That's where he's going. Is Philippines. He's engaged to somebody over
Oh, yeah.
there. That's where he's gonna live. He says it's a lot cheaper over there. He went on a
Oh,
took vacation over there, and they went to a resort. And I mean, this place was unbelievable. I got pictures of it.
oh yeah.
And it
They
was only
built up.
$75 for the week for the
Yeah.
room.
Yep.
Crazy.
No, no. If you go to the like Richie area, yeah,
He was.
it's
They were.
nice.
They was
If
in the
you
Ritchie
go
area,
to
but
the little, yeah, but if you go to like the little places in the Philippines, like
right.
some, it's just poverty ridden.
Yeah, it
But
is. It
if
is.
you have money, you know, because even the doctors there, like their pay is very,
You could live off of $500 a month there, and you'd
yeah,
be considered
but
rich.
you're not making that there. That's the problem. All those Philippines, they're doctors, they're lawyers, right? They hardly make any money over there because nobody has the money to pay them because the whole place is poor. And that's why they're trying to build up certain areas so that they can get tourists in to work for, um,
I
work
don't
for
know. I
the,
think he says medical over there is not expensive.
it's right, it's not expensive. So imagine if it's not expensive, how the doctor's getting paid. Not a lot. That's the whole thing. Everything's cheap. The pay is cheap too, and it doesn't matter what profession you're in. You're getting paid cheap.
I mean, he's got a beautiful fiance, and she's only like 20, 24, 25.
Well, yeah,
She's a
no,
lot younger than him, but
my
hey,
my
she,
best,
she knocked down gorgeous, but they don't care.
yeah, no, my best friend, her husband's Philippine, came from the Philippines, and he came here, and he's a physical therapist, right, for a hospital, because you can't make any money over there. So he came here. That's how they met. They got married. He stayed here. They went there for vacation, so when they were going to get married, so the mother could meet her, right? Because the mother is older and she's in the Philippines still. My friend was like, gorgeous, gorgeous place, but everything, the whole area where he was, it was poor. They had like these little huts with tin roofs. She goes, it was like terrible. Um, like for her to look at it, um, like that, from coming from here, and so you know, and he said, you work in the Philippines, you work your ass off, you have family, everybody helps, everybody builds together, they plant together. If the family doesn't stick together, which never happens, the whole entire, I mean, aunts, fifth cousins, they all are together and they take care of each other and they make things work. He goes, otherwise you wouldn't survive. You wouldn't eat because the government has no programs to give any money to anybody. There's no food pantries. There's none of that shit. Nobody's helping you. It's your family who helps you, and you work. That's it. There's no other way about it. UK hospital staff, a lot in the last 5 years, are Filipino nurses. Yeah, because they're not making any money in the Philippines. You got to go somewhere else. You can't, nobody wants to work so hard and still be poor. Like nobody wants to do that. Um, I wouldn't, you know. There was some points where like I went and told my boss one time, I can't work for this, what you're making me do, the pay is not worth it. You understand? Um, And, because, yeah, okay, you're paying me a 40-hour salary and it looks good, but I'm working 70 hours. It would be good if I was working only 40 hours, but I'm working 70. So it's not good, So the salary's not good for what you're making us do. And the stress was like, I was getting heart palpitations and everything. I was like, no, this is not working for me, um, because yeah, the pay is good until it's not, like until, I'd rather work less, get paid less, and not have stress than get paid a certain salary, work more than I should for that salary, and have stress. You know what I'm saying? So I could imagine, Carl, because I wouldn't want to stress myself out working in the Philippines for peanuts when I can go to the UK and make a good salary, probably. They're probably making a good salary there. They're probably living better. And they're hard workers, those Filipinos, because they know what it is and they work hard. They really do. Yeah. Wow, Mary, today we talked long. I lost her again. She has no sound.
No, I'm here. I was just over doing something.
Oh.
Yeah, we
Because I
have.
didn't even hear any
I just
background
was to
noise. So I'm
say,
like, did her speaker go out?
I just was to say I need to get off here
Okay.
because I'm getting worn down.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
Uh,
what I was saying. This is one of our longer
yeah,
lives Thursday. Back in 1988, I was paid
I'm winded.
$25 an hour. Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying too. In 1994, I worked for FAO Schwartz, and I worked for a company that was they sold their stuff in FAO Schwartz. I shouldn't say I worked for FAO Schwartz. At that time, I worked for this company that had a little booth in FAO Schwartz.
Well, I gotta.
And I was making $500 a month.
I
Salary.
have my
At that
dad's check
time,
stub.
$500 a month, $500 a week salary. $500. I was a manager. When I I started working for the union, and I was salary based, but it was good. But I said after I stopped working for the union, I said, oh, I'm going to go back to retail management because I was making so much money. When I went back to see, and I was like, oh, I was getting paid, uh, $500 a week just doing this. I could do that. And when I went back, they were like, oh no, it's $7.25 an hour or whatever the frick it was, something crazy. And I was like, I was making $10.50 when I was 20 working at Eddie Bauer. What the hell you mean you're gonna pay me $7? But like whatever it was like so much less than what I was making back in the day that I was like,
What?
how could that be?
It's muted. What?
If it's like two more days, I'll be able to start.
Uh,
Start based on trajectory of this right here.
I muted her because it wasn't muted, and I was afraid he didn't want anybody to hear what he was saying. So, our nurses are largely Filipino. Where are you again, Kelly? Yeah, Scott. It's crazy that like I was making more when I was 17 than when I was 30. I'm like, no, this can't be. Prices went up. I should be making more. But the economy was better then. There was more jobs. Everything was flowing. Um, then it like tapered, and you know, that was it. I'm sorry, Mary. I muted you because I didn't know if you wanted us to hear your conversation. So now you're on unmute. I apologize, but I wasn't sure because you said you were muted and you weren't, so I muted you. Yeah, but oh, maybe she did put the sound off on her. I was in Chicago, now in Minnesota. Oh, no, it's not in Minnesota, is it? No, near Minnesota. It's near Minnesota. What's the town next to Minnesota? Jesus Christ. I think it starts with a W. Lord, I forget. My sister is like half partner's business. Her friend has a business. She's a partner with him, like this like comic book bar, nerdy bar. Wisconsin. Yes, that's where she has she's a partner at this bar in Wisconsin, which is right next to you, isn't it? It's right next to you. Anyway, yeah, she has this comic book bar. I'll have to ask her the name. So if I would meet anybody from Wisconsin, you know, people were happy. Yeah. That's what it was, everything it was nice. When I remember when I was younger, if I didn't like the job I was working, like I hated Victoria's Secrets. They were so prejudiced. Victoria's Secrets was a horrible company to work for. They were they were prejudiced. They would fire people for no reason, because they didn't like their skin or something, like really bad to work for. So I got like fed up one day when the district manager came and said, "Oh, the higher ups are coming," right? And I was just a foundation manager. I didn't run the store, none of that. I was just the foundation manager. I ran the room with all the bras in it because they had 3 sections. So I was just a manager of that section. And so she said to me, like, "Oh, the higher ups are coming." I'm like, "That's fine. We're ready, whatever." And she's like, "Okay." And like they were late, right? So I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go to lunch." "Oh, good night, Scott. Much love to you." A bar in Wisconsin? Get out of here. Kelly, are you being sarcastic? Anyway, um, the now I forgot what I was saying because I read Kelly's thing and I was laughing. What was I saying? Oh gosh, I'm getting old. Tell me what I was saying, guys. Drunkest state ever? Probably. Had a cousin and worked logging in Canada. Oh, he worked logging for 5 months, came back, would not talk about it. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, we were talking about work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I hated Victoria's Secret, right? So anyway, so what I was saying was, so I went to her and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go to lunch now." And she was like, "You can't go to lunch." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" I go, "I've been here 5 hours already. I'm going to lunch." And she's like, "No, well, what if they come when you're on lunch? There's only black people here." And I just looked at her and I said, "Well, I didn't hire them. I'm just a foundation manager. That's your freaking problem. I fucking went to lunch." And then I gave my 2-week notice. I'm like, this bitch is crazy. How the hell could you say that? Now, this was in the 90s. I'm 96. And I was like, this bitch is crazy. How could they have her as a district manager? I don't freaking know. Like, and I couldn't sue her because I was a white person. But if I was that black manager, and I told that manager too, I said, this is what she said to me. That's why I'm giving my 2 weeks. I said, if you were smart, you'd give your 2 weeks and you'd freaking sue these bitches. Anyway, whatever the case may be, then I went to Eddie Bauer and I was there for a long while and they paid me $1 more than Victoria's Secrets. I was getting $9.50 at Victoria's Secrets. I went to Eddie Bauer. They said, how much you want? I said $10.50. They gave it to me. And then I worked there for a long time. And then I was like, okay. And then from Eddie Bauer, I went to the union because and then I had my daughter and I was like, oh, no, I need better medical insurance, whatever. So I went to the union. But I could just walk in and out the jobs. I want this much money. Good. Okay. No problem. They would give it to you back in the day. That's what I was saying. Anyway, I can't hear you, Mary, if you're talking. I'm sorry. We can't hear Mary if she's talking. Yeah. Well, there you
No,
are.
I wasn't talking, but I am now.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I
My
muted
son
you
come in
for
here.
a
my-
second because you were talking to your son and I didn't,
I know he was talking my ear off about his leg and his burn.
Yeah. So
Anyway, I thought it you wouldn't hear me because I was in the same place I was before. Then all of a sudden you couldn't hear me before, but now you do.
yeah,
So
I heard you and he'd say, no, I'm on mute. And then he would started talking and I'm like, let me mute her because she doesn't know, maybe she's not on mute and we can
right,
hear her.
I didn't know that you guys could hear me. So you said
Right.
what you said, and I'm thinking, and then you said you muted it. So I was like, okay, I don't have to go over there and do it. So
Oh no, I did it
I
for
got
you.
it somewhere else. But
Yeah, no, it was good.
anyway,
I wasn't being rude. I just didn't know if
I know
wanted
you
me
were.
to hear that, so I said, let me just put it.
Even if you muted it, I wouldn't think you was being rude.
Yeah. Probably traumatic. Yeah, I can imagine. And they're hard asses in Canada, and their words are different. Like I noticed sometimes, like Daddy will say something, I go, "What'd you say?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "No, what does that mean?" Then they'll tell me what it means in Canada. I go, "Oh no, we don't use that word here for that. That means this." It's like, what? So the wording too, like is different. Like they use different words. Like we use those words for other things that are not nice, and they use it. It's a regular word for them. So, I don't know. Like could be the wording too. He might think, God, these people are fucking nuts saying these things to me. Meanwhile, they weren't what he thought they meant. And they don't know what we think that means because Danny said it's funny because the dialect is different from one side to the other. So what they say for ass, like they'll say, got the word now, but what they say for your butt, right? One is the butt, and in the other place, it means the front. So when the guy from the one place went to the other place, he goes, oh, to this girl, they like butt supposedly. It was really the front in there, and they slapped him. He's like, what the hell? And they're like, oh, that means this. And he's like, oh my God, no, I commented on her backside. But whatever the word was, it was like, used it the wrong word. Not fanny. They had a word. What Canadian word do you know? I don't know any Canadian words, actually. I'm just saying their words, they speak English, just the words are different. Like the meaning of the words are like a fanny. This one I know. A fanny, we use it as a butt. So I was talking to Danny and I'm like, oh, the fanny. And he's like, no, that doesn't mean your butt. Maybe that is the word, Kelly. Maybe the fanny is the front part in Canada. So we say your fanny is your butt, your hind. And Canada, it's your front part. You could be exactly right. Kelly. That might exactly be the word. I think his crews had issue with his big, hairy forest folk, so I heard. Oh, I mean, beaver in the UK and butt in the US. Uh-huh. Well, we call it a butt or a fanny or a hiney or a behind.
I'll call it
Yeah,
ass.
lots of words for that, you know? Um, you know, but in Canada, one spot has one and one has the other. And if you say the fanny
I
in
say
the wrong
ass.
spot, you're gonna get slapped. Yes. Yep. That's what's gonna happen.
I call it ass.
Yeah, I was on that night. Yes. There you go, Kelly. Said right. Yeah, you say it the wrong. Like there's you know, so some things we just say differently. So,
I'm gonna get off you guys. I'm so winded. I can't. Yeah, I'm not
oh,
getting my words out right.
yep, you're tired. We've been here 3 hours. So have a great night, Mary. Thank you so much
I
for
love
joining
y'all.
us.
Carl, it's good to see you and good to hear from you.
Yes.
Let me know you're, still around and stuff on Messenger. But good night, everybody. I'll talk to you this week sometime.
Oh yeah.
Coming week. Take care.
Bye, love.
Bye. I'll see you on Messenger.
I'll see you on Messenger.
Okay.
Eraser versus condom. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's like there's just different words. So sometimes we get like I'll say something and Danny's like, well, what does that mean in there? And I'll tell him and he goes, oh, here it means this. And I go, oh. So I have to be careful when I go to Canada with my New York accent, as he says. He calls my cursing and my dirty mouth my US my New York accent. My New York accent is my dirty mouth. Yep, that's what it is. But yeah, it's great seeing Carl and everybody, I only come live to see you guys. I told you, everybody's like, oh, you'd make so much more on this platform, that platform. I go, no, but I won't have my friends. You guys are like my family. I talk to you guys more than my family. Today's topic was actually next Thursday, we talk about 45 minutes to an hour on the topic, and then we get off topic because the videos that I make are so good, it kind of tells you everything, so there's not too much to talk about after. But I'm pretty sure next week we're gonna do I'm gonna get together with Thor. He's one of our subscribers and a new member of the channel. And Mary, Thor, and I are gonna do the Celtic spirituality. So as long as he can make it Thursday, we'll do the Celtic stuff. If he can't make it Thursday, then I will do one of the other religions. And then maybe I'll do Druidism or Shamanism. If he can't make it, otherwise we're gonna do the Celtic. Yeah, next week. So these are fun. And then once we finish, like where I feel like we kind of covered all the religions, like the ones we don't know about. Like I'm not gonna cover like Christ Christian stuff because I'm figuring most of you, I mean, that's the most covered religion, right? You guys all know about that one. So I'm not going to cover that one. I'm doing ones that like I find interesting, like Hellenism. I loved that one with the deities and everything and the Greek mythology. This one that hardly nobody ever heard of, they're interesting to know about, you know. Um, Stuff that we don't know about or don't know a lot about. That's stuff I like doing. Festivus. Is that a religion or like a spiritual philosophy? Yeah, because I could do that, Kelly. I haven't heard of it. But so yeah, so I want to do like some interesting things. I'll type it in, see what we get. Festivus is actually a holiday, not a religion. It is a specular holiday celebrated on December 23rd as an alternative to the perceived pressures and commercialism of the Christmas season. So basically, it's a holiday, not a religion, but it is a holiday. For people who don't believe in all this, Santa Claus, that they believe, so it's a religious holiday, they'll do that. But yeah, I didn't know that. Now we know. Yeah, but so we're gonna do like the airing of the grievances. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do as much interesting stuff that we kind of don't. I mean, we've been doing it 7 months, and I kind of was like, oh my God, what else could I do? And then I'm like, no, do some nice religion and stuff. It's from Steinfeld. Totally kidding. I was like, okay, I'll put that in next. No, don't give me anything from Steinfeld. And it's funny because sometimes like I'll research different, like I wanted to know about, what did I want to know about? A certain deity, right? And I put it in and it was giving me this information and I'm like, I'm shocked it came up as a holiday. That's what it came up as. Google had it. I don't know if it's true. But that's what Google had. I read it. I'm shocked it came up as a trying to mess with me. Trying to mess with me, Miss Kelly. Anyway, that's funny. But yeah, so I figured, okay, we'll do some of the spiritual philosophies and stuff like that. Um, I wanted to go over like I did the four winds, the four directions. I wanted to do like the mountain, the moon goddess, all that, but there's so little information online. Correct information. I'm gonna just say correct information. There's not enough correct information online for me to give them each their own. Like the four winds and the four directions, because the natives believed so heavily in it. They had, and the Greeks and actually the Chinese too. There was a lot of information on those deities, but on the others, Brother Mountain, Sister Sun, no, no. Like there was like there's not enough information or correct information. Christmas is stolen from pagan Celtic Norse Yule. Yes. What about at the library? There might be. I have to. I looked for like books too because I don't mind reading online books. The libraries, half the things are banned anyway. Go to the library. So I was like, nah, read an online book. They can't ban it from online if it was written, right? But I couldn't find any like good sources of information. I don't like giving you like iffy information, you know? And I'll ask the spirit guides, like, is this right? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. So I didn't do the 7 deities. So I would like to get back to that. If I could find some good information, or if I could have Danny sit and write it all the stuff I want to know, then maybe. But I don't want to give like information that isn't spot on. Like even when I did the spirit guides, and I was like, I sat there with my pendulum. Sarah, is this a good one? What do you think of this? Because I was like, there, all the information is different, right? Because it's what the person believes, basically. This is not a science. Connecting with spirits and spirit guides, it's not a science, because science doesn't believe in it, right? It says it's not proven yet. So you're going on your faith. So you write down what you believe is right, right? When I did my videos, I went on what I know to be right, what they told me, and and I would say most people believe this, you know? Because that's what most people believe, so it seems the most, you know, um, the most feasible, since all the people believe it. Like almost every, like I'll read 35 articles, and if 20 of them say the same thing, I'm like, that's probably some good information, you know? So that's what I try to do. And so it takes me a whole week to do these videos, to research all the information that I want to do. So I'm really happy that Thor is coming to talk about it, so that even if like I just do a little video for next week, at least we'll have the information from him, because he actually is Celtic. So like, yeah, like I'm very the reason why I'm doing these spiritual Thursdays is so that we can learn. I don't want to learn something that's wrong. I want to learn something that's right, right? I don't want you to go to Google and be like if you Google something, like if you Google like spirit guides or something, what different types of spirit guides are there? Just do that for shits and giggles. What types of spirit guides are there? You will get 90 pages of Google, right? Some will tell you there's 7, some will tell you there's 4, some will tell you there's 10, some will tell you there's 12 different kinds of spirit guides. There was so many articles of crap, you wouldn't believe how many articles I went through to do the spirit guide one. It was insane. Insane. And then I had to keep asking the spirit guides, like, wait, is this an actual guide? And or like, is this right? And like, it took me forever. Like, at least like with the religions or the philosophies, it's written, right? So it's easier to do these than like on spirit guides and deities and stuff that they say doesn't exist, because you're getting information from people you don't know where they got the information from, right? So it's like a catch-22 with that, you know? Right, yeah, that's exactly right. It's like craziness, because it's like, you know, where did the person come up with this thing? Just like it annoys me. It annoys me about the elementals, right? So there's 5 elements. Ask everybody what the 5th one was. Some say metal, some say spirit, but nobody says wood, which is the 5th elemental, right? So they all had something different for the fifth elemental. When I did the elemental one too, I was pissed. I know there's a wood one because my protector is a wood elemental, right? So if I know there's one and you're not telling me about it, damn what I had to go through to find the information on that element. Because very few people, because they just associate wood with earth. Okay, so they just like, they're like, no, wood is earth. I'm like, no, it isn't. It's a separate entity. It's like saying coffee is milk. No, milk goes in coffee. But coffee isn't milk. Like, it just isn't. It's separate, you know? And like, so, but it's difficult because, and I'm going to tell you this, guys, too. It's difficult. And I was having troubles because I'm very passionate about these things, right? I'm passionate about getting you the right information. And I'm passionate when I talk to my spirit guides, they're giving me the right information, right? So when I was putting some things out there, like about the fae folk and stuff like that, what people were saying, but this is how it is, or that's how it is, I'm like, I'm giving you the information that was given to me by reputable sources. You can believe whatever you want, but I'm not going to put something I don't believe or is right, or, So also, that comes into play too sometimes. So that's why I kind of went lighter with what I was doing with the spiritual Thursdays, because I don't want to insult anybody. That's never what I'm trying to do. I'm just giving you the information that was given to me by reputable sources, or that I read a trillion articles on, and that was the consensus. But I always say that in the video. Most people believe this. This is the consensus. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. But, if I say most people believe, then I'm not verifying it. If I say this is this, then that's what I know to be correct. But it's only what I know to be correct from my sources, right? So, that's the whole thing. Yeah, but with the elementals were rough. With the spirit guides were rough. Whoa. But like I said, it's because, like, the science believes in religion, but they don't believe in spirits. I have family line goes back, as I've found, from wow, and other side, pre-Roman and Hungarian old beliefs passed on up to my mother, my mom, and my grandfather. Wow, that's fabulous. My family, like I said, because my grandparents were Greek, the Turks took over that part. Then it was Turkish, and then like they kicked the Greeks, and then like, so they all passed away. They didn't talk about like that kind of stuff because it was hardship for them, right? So plus they changed their name, which is another thing that drives me crazy. So when my grandparents on my Greek side immigrated here, they had a shop. I don't even know what their real, my grandfather's real last name was, because they had a shop in Greece, Turkey, wherever it is. It's Turkey now. And they had a shop, and they would bring in import American items. And so they called them the Americanos, which in Greek is the American, so they called them the Americanos because they always had American stuff in their store that you couldn't get anywhere else. When they immigrated here, they told that back then you didn't have to show any papers. You write it down, whatever the fuck you wanted to write down. Your age was wrong, everything. When they came here, they said their name was the Americanos. And his sister came here And she lied about her age. She said she was 5 years younger because she wanted to be younger, right? Well, guess what? She regretted that because retirement age is 65, right? Well, she had to work till she was 70 because she lied about her age and she made herself 5 years younger, which means she had to work 5 years more here. So don't lie if you come over here. Well, now they check out all the documents. Then they didn't. Just write it down, whatever the heck you wanted, you know. Um, and they came here. They changed their names. Their ages are wrong. Whatever the heck they wanted. Nobody checked. Nobody cared. Back then. So yeah, I'm a distant. Wow, that's fabulous, Carl. So I can't even go back on their history, because I don't know who they are, really. So it's really rough, to find out that history, because they changed it all when they came here. They start new. Um, but it killed, like, how you can find that family line. My Italian side is better, but even them, like, I had to go to the census to see, like, some stuff about my grandparents, like their parents, like, lived with them for a while, whatever. My grandparents' parents on the census, because they couldn't write English when they first came. So they probably had the neighbor kid fill it out or some shit, who knows, or one of their kids, they're young, going to school or whatever. So one time they put her name as Phyllis, and the other time they put her name as I don't know, something else, right? And they said mother-in-law both times. They put the mother-in-law, but they put her name different. So I'm like, what the frick is her name? Like, is it Phyllis or is it Angela? Like, I'm like, what the hell is her name? The mother-in-law. Like, I'm trying to find out while I was trying to do the family tree. Last king who invaded England, Edward the 11th. Wow. I actually did something on him, maybe on the Sinister Sunday, like, about like a haunted castle or something. I believe it was with him. Yeah, so I don't know. They started, the one side started fresh, the other side they couldn't write, so who knows what their names are? I'm like, what the hell? It's horrific. So I don't know what the frick I am. I don't even know. I don't know who I'm related to. And every time I look at some of my family, like, I'm not related to any of these fucking people. I don't know where I came from. Damn, I was probably pulled out of some bassinet somewhere. And they're like, here, give this one to this. It looks like them. Freaking know where they got me. My mother had me and ran, and they're like, oh, give it to this one. I don't know. So, who knows? But, yeah. And everybody's like, well, you could get the DNA test. I'm like, nope. I'm not giving them my DNA willingly. I don't trust the government right now. But you could see why I don't trust the government. I mean, come on, look at it. Oh, I really hope. I mean, I know, like, right now, like, Joe is old and he kind of screwed a few things up. It's fine. But the other one is so terrible. Gives me nightmares that if he gets in again, like, it really gives me nightmares. So we have to get the lady in. Actually, there's the woman, at least, it's a woman. We gotta try a woman. We never had one. Maybe she'll be fabulous, right? Go for the woman, guys. Did you see what happened at 23 and Me? Did I see what happened? No, what is that, a show? Tell me. I don't watch the news. No thanks. Yeah. A lot of Greek high elite got took out or left after the 1918 war. Oh, No thanks. No thanks to the guy or the girl. Oh no, DNA testing. Yeah, no DNA testing. No, I don't trust. I don't trust them. I was doing the family tree, just like typing in what I could find from like censuses and stuff, just to see if I could find something the old-fashioned way, like through the white or the pages or the yellow pages. Back in the day, you got it, you look through it, you go, there's my grandma, and that's her phone number. Good. Whatever. Their names were there in the white or yellow pages. So I was trying to go old school to see, like, if I could trace things, but like I said, it was so shoddy. No, nobody gave a freaking crap back then. So it was terrible. I couldn't. So I was like, no, I'm not doing this. This is too much work for me. I don't care. I came from the cosmos, and I'm sticking to that. I'm not going. Not doing it. I was just so like frustrated because it was, like I said, they just so random back then. To lie about your age by 5 years and then have to work 5 years, it's just terrible. I was like, oh no. I mean, I say I'm 36 plus, which is true. I'm 36 plus some years. Take it how you want it. My birth certificate tells the truth. That's what I'm talking about. What we said about not giving our DNA. That's right. I'm not giving it. The whole board of the company just resigned. Wow, really? What we said about not giving the government access to our DNA. They're stealing it, aren't they? That's why the board resigned. Mm-mm. I knew that. And then, something else too, Kelly. You give them your DNA, right? If a crime's committed and they want to pin it on you because, I don't know why, they have nothing better to do, they have your DNA. They could take it out of the air and go, oh no, you did it. Your DNA was there. It wasn't fucking there, but now they have your DNA. No. Yeah. Don't make it too easy for them to pin no shit on you. Mm-mm. I stay home anyway. They can't find, unless they come to my house and break in, then they can find my DNA. And in my garbage, maybe. You're gonna have me start burning my garbage, Kelly. Burn it. Christina, you're correct. Yeah. Not that, like I said, I'm a poor nobody, but I could have great DNA. I don't know. They could make that's another thing. I was like, can they make clones out of my DNA? Like, that's what they're gonna do with it? I don't know. That was always my biggest thing. I always thought they were gonna make a clone. That's what I had in my head. I'm like, no, they're gonna take my DNA and they're gonna make a clone. I'm more concerned about the insurance companies testing your DNA for possible future disease and denying you coverage. Wow, really? Wow. That would be a thing that the government would have to be like, no, you can't do that. Everybody everybody is prone to something. That's why they ask you on the papers, like, did your mother have heart disease? Does this run in your family? Does that run in your family? Does this run in your family? So that they know what you have, right? So they already ask you those questions if you know. Like I said, I know my parents, and that's it. I don't know anybody else. Any other, my aunts, my uncles, I don't know what they have, I don't go sit there, ask them their problems, like, by the way, you're my father's sister. Do you have any heart disease in your family? No, I'm not doing that. I don't, no, I don't know, But yeah, to say something might happen in the future. Because, listen, people have dormant, right? Dormant things that might never come out. So you can't deny them insurance for something that may or may not happen. I could die in a car accident before then. How are you going to deny me something that's going to happen when I'm 80? I'm going to die when I'm 40 in a car accident. Like, that would be insanity. Here we are lucky have doomsday books named Land House, Welsh sagas, and roll call family names. Wow, yeah, because they were very big on the family, the ancestral. They made sure they kept records. Here, when people immigrated here, I don't give a crap. That's at the doctor's difference. Oh no, that's horrific, Kelly. I didn't hear that. Anyway, not getting my DNA. I guess when you go to the doctor, they could steal it from you, so it doesn't matter. I don't really go to the doctor. I would like to go for my back, though, because I'm in some terrible pain. But look at the gorgeous moon. I don't know if you guys can see the gorgeous moon. Let's see if I could turn you around and show you the gorgeous moon setting. Oh, no, I don't want to do any recording. I want my damn camera setting. Lord have mercy. Okay. Look at that big moon. I mean, it looks bigger from here, but it's gorgeous. I think well, there might be a little sliver missing, but it's awful pretty. There's the moony. Yeah, I could see it from my carport outside. Oh, nice. Yeah, the moon is very pretty tonight. Let's see if I could turn you around again. That's the moon in the city. So, full moon with eclipse was Tuesday night. Still big and powerful, yeah. Oh, Tuesday, and I forgot to, and I wanted to go outside. What did I do Tuesday? I got caught up with something. Uh-huh. Like always. Because I normally go treasure hunting on Tuesday, but this Tuesday I was like, you have too much crap. You're not going treasure hunting. Make a craft and keep yourself out of trouble. So that's what I probably did. Anyway, we've been here 3 hours and a half. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna go eat. It's 9:30 at night. I have some supper with the spirits, and then I gotta do a crossover, or they'll talk my ear off from now till when I do one. So all the extra energy. Have a great weekend. Yes, if I don't see you guys, have some good eating. Thank you so much. I might take a white eggplant. I think I saw one ready, and have some white eggplant for dinner tonight. James, it's so lovely you came in today. Yes, they will. They'll talk my ear off. Um, um, Thank you so much for coming in, Poet, and of course everybody who comes in. Carl, it was so good to see you. We're here every Thursday night if you're free. Um, I'm also here Wednesday night doing cards. If anybody's interested in card readings. James, I was looking for you yesterday. You popped in. I was gonna say you want a card reading, but I didn't see you after that. I have work in the mornings anyway. But James, have a great day at work. Kelly, much love to you. Um, yeah, and we'll see you next Wednesday, definitely 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Divination Wednesday. We'll do card readings and all that good stuff. So I love you guys. I'll play the outro so you guys can say goodbye. And anybody who's not caught up, I don't want to record anything. Why do you keep asking me to record something? They have this new stuff and it's just like driving me crazy. I hate when they change stuff. I hate when they change things. Somewhere I have an outro. Remember, please discard all candy wrappers and popcorn containers in the nearest trash receptacle. Thank you. We are so glad you came. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Is everyone gone? Huh? Good. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are killing me. I can't keep smiling like this anymore. I'm exhausted.